Hello.
Hey,
Hey, what's happening?
nothing much. I've not. I'm being thrown into this kind of head first without knowing any of the backstory. So I've only heard what Roxo said in the voice chat.
Yeah, some of the things he said I did is right, but he leaves out a significant part of the context behind what was going on. You know what I'm saying? So the reason that I gave a computer part to Margaret is so she could make better quality videos and more videos.
Did you guys
It
talk at
was
all, like outside of streams and stuff?
we I mean, we chat in like DMs, not in Discord. Like, might say a little something here and there on Twitter DMs or something. We never really talk socially in Twitter, right? I try my best to keep my distance in that way because I seen her as a popular individual, and I knew that individuals like that don't have time to talk to, just random members in their subscriber base. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I try my best to keep my distance in that way at the time, and I didn't encroach upon trying to be a friend or anything along those lines. So what happened is back in the day, Margaret had a bad laptop. That and well, I guess I better go a little further than that. So Margaret McLennan was the first manager of Milo Yiannopoulos privilege grant. I don't know if you remember
Oh,
that.
okay. I do remember that. I don't remember any. I remember there being a little bit of a scandal because I don't think anybody got any money from it though.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So she was the first of, I believe, five different managers of the privilege grant of its lifetime. The and I don't think anyone has found someone that's got the money yet. But regardless, she was the first of five. After she did some work and everything along those lines for Milo refused to pay her for the work she did.
Oh,
So she's
really?
yes, yes. So that was a big, a big, a big bomb that blew up. She went crazy for a while. Well, I would say she let everyone know and know uncertain details that what happened on Twitter. So even to this day, she will on occasionally bring it up. That's one of her pet peeves. You know, um, she's after Milo, I guess, sorta like like I've been after her, sorta.
Has she like sued him, or is this just like an online thing?
It's pretty much an online thing.
Okay.
Um, she I don't really know all the great details behind there wasn't a contract apparently. She didn't sign a contract and there wasn't an NDA. So
Oh,
she
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 didn't
talked
sign a
about it.
contract at all regarding payment either, or.
Right, right.
Hmm.
Yeah. So she was as dumb as I was as well in that regard. So what happened is she spent quite a few months focused on the privilege grant and basically for fake promises. She continued. So she focused so much on that she did for months she didn't apply her work on other things, um, you know, other opportunities she could have had. So she fell behind. And she didn't make any money doing anything else that much. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Um, so, so also during that period of time, she had like they said, she had a colon removed a few years back, not 2016, but I think like 2014 or 13, she had a colon removed. And around about August of 2016, she was in and out of the hospital constantly, from August 2016 to about, I would say November or so, she was in and out of hospital constantly. And the only computer she had at the time was an overheating laptop that a previous fan gave her. That was before I even got here, donated to her. And so she couldn't live stream with that laptop, and she couldn't make videos with that laptop because she couldn't do her other work I mean, she couldn't do her other work while the laptop was doing a video, or it would overheat. So she can only do one thing at a time, and most times she had to choose her work over the videos, and that's why she couldn't make many videos at a time. Am I making sense so far?
Yeah. Just because it's a bad laptop, she can't do much with it.
Right. Okay. So she couldn't do any live streams, too much of a live stream, and she couldn't, she couldn't do much content because of those reasons, legitimate reasons, in my opinion. So what happened next? And so, her laptop was so buggy and stuff that when she did try to do live streams, she had a camera issue that was referred to as the spooky cam because it was due in October at the time. And it was kind of like, it was a running joke. So that was how bad the video quality was, and the videos that she made at the time was, because her laptop was about to go nuclear. So seeing all this and seeing that, seeing how much she was trying and stuff, and knowing that, how the rotten luck she had with the Milo thing, I'll be honest, I felt bad for her, and I decided to see what I can do to help her out. And so the first thing I did was I offered her. I contacted. It was the first message I ever sent her. I contacted Margaret and said, "Hey, if you want a computer, I have an old computer with it was a subpar graphics card, admittedly, but it was definitely better than the laptop she had. If you want it, I can just send it your way." It was just an old computer. I already had a new computer anyway. I was just going to send it her way. She said, basically, I appreciate it, but I'm already halfway done with my computer. I've already halfway done, buying the parts I need for my new computer already. I don't need, I'm already halfway done, and so on and so forth. So, knowing that, I said, okay, well, she had she had a very loyal fan base at the time, extremely loyal. Like people like Margaret. They just, and that's the thing about Ralph, even Ralph himself hates to see the truth about Margaret. People naturally like Margaret. If you ever talk to Margaret, she has this magnetic personality. It's not her looks. It's just she has this magnetic personality. It seems to kind of make everyone let down their guards. I don't understand. I don't know how to explain. I know it sounds strange. But if you watch one of her live streams,
can you clarify what you mean about Ralph?
You see, Ralph and Nora have been friends with Margaret for a while now, since Gamergate, and she was different back then.
Before you met her?
I beg your pardon?
Before you met her, they were friends?
No. I met Margaret. The first time I ever saw Margaret was on the Milo Yiannopoulos stream with Lauren Southern about the privilege grant.
But I mean, they were friends before you started talking to her about the computer?
Oh, yes, definitely. I think so. See, Gamergate. Well, let's see. Yeah, Milo Yiannopoulos privilege grant started after Gamergate, and stuff. So yeah, definitely they were friends before that. But what I'm trying to explain is Ralph and Nora have been playing defense for Margaret, and to the point where Nora and Zidane for 2 months forbidded me to talk about Margaret in the Discord at all. They Margaret so Nora and Zidane pulled me into another chat room and talked to me. They said, we don't talk about Margaret anymore. We see how much you post about Margaret, and all you're trying to do is you want Ralph to make a hit piece on her, and so on and so forth, because basically you have sour grapes about Margaret, right? So that was basically the gist of what they were saying. They didn't give me she wouldn't give me much time to explain, but that was pretty much it. So like I said, Ralph and Nora have been playing kind of defense on the server for Margaret since I got here the first of this year, and this server. To summarize past that point, so Margaret didn't have. So it was my idea to get. If I said if one of each of her supporters donates one part apiece, she will have a working computer. And she had the components on her wish list displayed at the time, and she had, the reasoning behind why she needed a computer. And the reasoning for why she needed a computer was so she can make do live streams, so she can play games with her fans, and so she can make more videos, and so on and so forth. So that was the reasoning she gave on her wish list description for why she wanted these computer components. So I donated a power supply. Some other guy donated a GPU, and the highest of all of us got, I don't know who he is, but the highest of all of us donated a CPU, which was $500.
And you donated the CPU?
No, I donated a power supply.
Okay. How much was that?
I don't know. I
Probably
think like $300
or so.
Nah, when I buy something, I make sure it's of good quality. So I bought I think it was a 1,200 watt gold certified power supply.
Yeah, that would be expensive.
Yeah, so that's what I bought. I figured, hey, it's future proof.
Yeah.
If there's anything she upgrades in the future, that power supply has her covered, no matter what she plans on doing. Right. So that was my mindset. I'm not hunting for money, to be honest. So that was my mindset and going into it. So my idea was basically that was a PC project. So everyone, basically, we had enough people that was going to send the parts, and we all sent our parts in. And by January, all the parts were to her and in her room, and and good to go. Right. So she, so for Valentine's Day 2017, she did a live stream of her assembling the computer and all the components and so on and so forth. So basically, wham, bam, boom. There's her working brand new computer. Made possible by her supporters and patrons and fans and so on and so forth. Right. And so everything was good. Everything was everything went like it's supposed to. Now, like I was saying earlier, I don't know if you were there, but my original plan was donate the computer parts. Make sure things going well. Like she's doing what she says she's going to do. Everything's going well, and I was going to disappear into ether. I'm not the kind of individual that belongs on the internet. If you see the Discord voice chat right now and how they treat me, you can see how I come to that conclusion. In 2016, I knew that, and so I planned on just disappearing off the internet because some people simply are not compatible.
What makes you incompatible with the internet?
I'm not totally sure what it is. Well,
the guy that was impersonating you said that you had autism. Is that true?
Well, that's true. Yes, I have Asperger's syndrome.
Okay.
Yeah. So I look like there's certain individuals that would do a lot better if they simply were not online, right? So, if, for example, let's say somebody that's what was that guy's name?
Christian Weston Chandler or Ross?
Spax. Let's try Spax. Spax. Mr. Medica made a few videos about Spax back in the day.
Not entirely sure, but just
Spax is an autistic geek that made videos about Sonic the Hedgehog and so on and so forth. Basically, he made a clown out of himself, and Mr. Medica made a lol cow out of him. That kind of individual isn't hurting anyone. He's just highly peculiar, and he would be better off not being on the internet. And that's basically this. That's the summary that I got from them, that I've come to as well. I knew that in 2016, and I stayed around only because I tried to get Margaret to keep to her commitment about what she was going to do with the computer parts. So I stuck around, and her, the original, this is her plan, not mine. Nope, not my plan, not anyone else's suggestion. This is her original schedule. Her original schedule was she was going to do a gaming. She was going to do something called Straight Talk on Monday, which was basically relationship advice live stream. Don't ask me. That was her idea. It wasn't mine. The next day, Tuesday, she was going to do a 1 hour gaming stream. Wednesday, she was going to release a new video. Thursday, she's going to do another game stream. And she said at the time that it was possible, but what that she didn't know for sure, that she was going to possibly make Saturday a gaming day for fans and so on, Patreons or something on those lines. So, I usually just cross that off a list because she wasn't sure about it herself. Not one single week since she had that computer has she kept to that week plan. Not one single week. And
has she ever done it? Did she ever stick to that schedule?
Not 1 week since that computer was built.
Did she give a reason?
Yeah, she gave reasons. And to be honest, the first reason she gave was legitimate. The first reason she gave is that she was sick. She got sick again. She went back in the hospital. She took pictures of herself laying in a bed. I can't, you can't dispute that. Legitimate reason for me why things had to be delayed and stuff, and so on and so forth. But you understand that she did somewhat attempt for a little while, a few months until like May or so, and that's when everything went to pot, went down the toilet, and she used so many excuses that her excuses simply wasn't viable any longer. Her main excuse was, I have other jobs. I have other contract work I'm doing. It pays more, therefore I'm doing that instead. And that's reasonable. No reasonable adult would argue with that line of reasoning. The problem with it, the issue I take with that is, we have a week's period of time. You have is Monday through Friday, and in that week, can you not find at least 1 hour of time to show that you're trying? Just 1 hour of just 1 hour, showing that you are trying to keep your commitment in some regard. And that's basically what people were asking her to do. Just show that you're trying. Just show that you're putting some effort, and you're not just just throwing everybody to the side and saying F you and that's it. And that's basically what people were asking her to do. And when people were asking her to do that, she got less and less communicative, to the point where it seemed like it might even be a scam. She had a Patreon. She had a Discord server. She stopped showing up with that. She stopped. One of her Patreon rewards was, she had a special channel in her Discord where you can talk to Margaret, and so on and so forth. She stopped showing up with that. So that was a Patreon reward she wasn't keeping. The Patreon videos that was made for 2 years. She had a Patreon for 2 years, and if all the videos that were made in that period of time was just taken down, no warning.
She completely wiped her history on.
Yeah. Her channel is blank. Completely blank.
So just to do a quick recap of everything you've said thus far, after the privilege grant fell apart, she started doing live streaming and started networking with Gamergate people like Ralph and Nora.
No. Gamergate was before privilege grant.
Right. But after the privilege grant fell apart, she started talking to people active in Gamergate like Ralph.
Yeah, somewhat.
She started up her own live stream and stuff, right?
Yeah, sort of. It wasn't constant. She just basically, she at that time she didn't have a show, so I don't know what period of time we're talking about. I don't know if you're talking about 2016 or 2017. But she did a live stream with Blair White. She did a live stream. She did the kill stream. She did, she's done some live. One of her famous ones, well, actually one of her infamous ones, was the one she did where she was drunk with Sargon of Akkad. That was a downright disaster, to say the least.
For her or
For her, yeah, it was.
what was?
It was not.
I don't know that history. What happened with that?
I it's cringe. It's beyond cringy, um, and I can't get through it. It's that bad.
Oof.
Plus, now that's not saying much because I'm not a troll and I'm not a cringe lover like some other people are. So so some people would enjoy it, and some people have a lot more tolerance of cringe than I am. So you need to take me not being a tolerate with a grain of salt.
Yeah, but this was before you started following her, I guess.
Yeah, yeah, it was. So I've seen the video. People linked it. Fans linked it, and so on. So I mean, I've been following her for a while since about. I mean, well, I've been. I mean, I followed her on Twitter before, like at beginning of 2016, but I wasn't active on Twitter until August or so, 2016. So I wasn't really following. I wasn't really up to date on what she did and stuff because I wasn't all that active on Twitter myself.
Right.
And she wasn't.
So when she got this started up and started having problems with her computer, everybody kind of pitched in. Probably spent between our 35 patrons. You said they each probably
No,
spent
no,
a
no,
couple $100 each, or
not, no. This was separate from Patreon. So the individuals that donated the computer components wasn't even the only person that donated computer component that was also a member of her Patreon was me. Everyone else was just followers of hers on Twitter and YouTube. She wasn't she was missing like about half of the parts that she needed. Um, and the individuals basically just came out and said, "Hey, I volunteer." Like we said, okay. I said, "Hey, I'm gonna donate a power supply," and another guy says, "Hey, I'm gonna donate a GPU," and says, "What we need now is we need a RAM, we need the hard drive, we need the OS, and so on and
yeah,
so
she
forth."
just listed all the individual parts that she wanted for her build. And you got the power supply, but some guy even donated $500 for the CPU, right?
No, he bought the CPU straight out.
Oh yeah, well that's what I mean. He
Yeah.
bought it for her. So she gets her computer, and is she doing her live streaming stuff like up until the day she gets it, or does she stop a little bit
No,
before?
no, she's not. She's unable to do it that much. Um, you know, like I said, she's unable to do it because her laptop's overheating. Right? She's unable to do as many streams and make videos and stuff. She tried to do something on during the Trump the big thing in Trump in 2016. But that turned out to be a debacle in its own. She was live streaming. What was that thing called? Um,
The election coverage, or like
not
was she
the
stream
party,
sniping?
the party that the Republicans was
Oh,
having.
the RNC party. Okay.
No. The one that Gavin McGinnis went to and stuff. I can't remember what it was called. But it was a somewhat famous party. That Gorilla Mindset went to. I call him Gorilla Mindset. But he also went to it. I think Alex Jones was there. I don't know. But basically, the bigger side of YouTube right wing guys all went there and stuff. And he was live streaming it, and what was it, right wing news network like got pretty mad about her live streaming it, so she had to cancel her live stream.
Why would they get mad at her for live streaming it?
Because they were live streaming it.
Did they find that to be competition, or what's the deal with that?
I guess I don't know for sure. She basically just kind of submissed to them being upset about it, and she just stopped the live stream, and instead she did a live stream with that guy T instead. So that guy T decided to hop in so them two can do something in that time frame. That was supposed to be the live stream or that media coverage, but so that guy T jumped in and saved the day. That basically is what happened.
And okay, so this was all before she got her new computer, right?
Right,
This is when
right.
she was trying to build up like a public profile.
Yeah, she already had a public profile before that. It's pretty much.
Yeah. So after everybody buys her parts and stuff, or at least after you buy the power supply unit for her, are you talking to her? Are you keeping in contact to see how it's going, or what's the deal with that?
Not really. I'm not really talking to her. I'm basically just watching Twitter and YouTube and stuff, and just keeping updated that way. Um, I don't remember. I mean, I could have said something to her for update, but I don't remember me saying all that much to her privately. I guess I could have said something publicly, like posted on Twitter publicly and asked or something. But like I said, I try my best to keep my private DMs between me and Margaret to a minimum because I didn't want to be that fan that wanted to try to be a friend and or so on and so forth.
So I mean, could you estimate how many messages that you've sent her like over time? Like less than 100, more than 100, or
yeah, less than 100, definitely.
So so she gets her computer.
maybe less than 50.
So she gets her computer, right? And when did she get her new build from the fans?
Everything was assembled and ready to go Valentine's Day of 2017.
Okay, and she immediately starts reneging on her previously public schedule for how she was going to proceed with her videos, right?
Yeah, she gave a reason why, and like I said, at times she got sick, so she had a legitimate reason at first for not doing it, and she had pictures of herself in a hospital, blah blah blah.
Okay, so she was having medical issues after the PC got built. Is what she said.
Right, and that's why she didn't keep to the schedule. So it's kind of to give you, if you want to get a little bit more minutiae about it, on some more than minutiae. This is how it went down. So she had something called the Straight Talk on Monday. So every Monday night she had a Straight Talk, and that was basically a live stream dating advice show.
Mm-hmm. And you said, is this something that she actually did, or?
Yes, that's what I'm trying to say. So that's so for weeks she kept that up, that one thing on that day, right? So she didn't do anything else that week, but she tried to keep that up. All right, so she kept that up for about 2 months or so, and then
was that the only thing that she was doing during this time, or?
Pretty much everything else was kind of sparse, right? She might do 2 gaming streams a month or so,
right?
So something along those lines. And so after a while, finally, that streak of 2 months of solid Straight Talk and so on and so forth broke. And then she started getting less and less of that, and doing less and less live streaming. And, in the time period, so between Valentine's Day 2017 to this date right now, she has only made 3 total videos right? Not live streams that was pre-recorded, not live streams that was saved, but videos that,
she edited and put together for you, or
right? Yeah. So only 3. So in total, only 3 videos was made, and
so about 3 edited videos, 2 game live streams, and maybe 8 of these relationship help videos, or.
Well, I mean, there was more, but I'm just sometimes say is like there was more, but it was broken up. So, for example, she went 2 months without. She went 2 months without interruption with a Straight Talk, and then she skipped 1 week, and then all of a sudden she started skipping 2 weeks, and then 3 weeks, and then she stopped. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so it was. So I'm not saying it was like this 8 and that was all period. It was, that was this. I'm just trying to explain the minutiae of it. It's been a little while actually. So, in total, I mean, she probably made 12, maybe 15 Straight Talks, I guess, if I had to guess. She probably did a few gameplay live streams. I don't know, maybe 10 or so, from Valentine's Day. I guess I don't know. If
How
I,
much? Can I
but
ask how much you were giving to her in like Patreon over this time?
I was given like $5 per video. So at the time, it was per video. So if she did a video, she gets $5 per video.
Okay.
She so that but that also counted live streams that was saved, not just pre-recorded videos. I mean, rehearsed videos and everything else. You see what I'm saying? So it was, if she did a straight talk, she got paid. If she did a game stream, she got paid. If she did, so on and so forth.
Right.
So after all that, around her birthday, which I forgot when her birthday was, but around her birthday is when everything started going to pot completely. That's when everything kind of turned up on its head and went nuclear when it comes to her content. She really started slacking off, like one stream a month, something along those lines.
Was she still
Putting
talking
less.
about her health at the time, or did she switch over
No,
to a different
no,
excuse?
it was a job thing. So now it went from a health to, hey, I got contract work. I'm really busy, guys. I'm really busy, blah blah blah. Right. And like I said, that's fine and dandy. If that's fine and dandy if you didn't make a commitment to get the computer components. It's fine and dandy, that you can't keep to your original schedule. However, you made a commitment, and a lot of and legitimate money has been spent. And you can at least do an hour a week. You can at least show, like I said, you can at least show that you're trying, that you put an effort into it.
Did she
And
give any hint as to what kind of work she was doing, or?
it's just contract work. She doesn't want to give out what kind of work she does,
Right.
Because she's afraid. Most likely, she's afraid that some of her fan base will harass her boss or someone, and which is legitimate concern. Not just her fan base, but she's she's conservative, so she might have some enemies on the left that might want to contact people or something. But
Right.
she's basically a ghostwriter for people, and also a social media marketer.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know. She did a few things here and there. There's a website called Warfare Media, and that's the people that she works for the most, I believe. Um, and they do marketing online, I think.
Well, after she stopped doing these streams, did she and she started doing contract work? Did she ever make a commitment to come back to live streaming, or
No, not really. No, just I may do it soon. I don't know when I come back, guys. I can't give you a date when I'm gonna get back on schedule. Blah blah blah, so on and so forth. Let me find something. Let me find this image
Sure.
that will give you a better, clear idea of what I'm talking about. Okay, so this is a guy that was talking to Margaret. He had the reason the MCC this is unusual. Do you see the screenshot?
Yeah, I'm
I
looking at
mean,
it.
it got you. Okay, so the reason this is unusual at the time, because she wouldn't usually talk to people. She wouldn't usually talk about this topic with normal people or normal fans, on Twitter or anywhere else for that matter. The reason she talked to this individual is because he had a blue check mark. And so he's basically saying what the fans were saying. Can you give an explanation? Can you give some time, anytime, kind of something, and she's coming up with this nonsense excuses and so on and so forth.
So they give to you, and this is how you give back. All they're asking is for a 5-minute hello in Discord and a 30-minute live stream. Not too much. And that's a lot of retweets. So that must have struck a chord with quite a few people who were fans of her.
Yeah,
And some people
yeah.
write me every day if I'm their girlfriend. So it sounds like she's at a point where she's concerned that her presence is having a negative impact on her well being because of she's getting creeped out by some guys apparently.
But you need to understand like that doesn't happen. It does that like how can I explain? When Margaret gets upset about something, when someone crosses the line with Margaret, she'll let you know. She makes sure that she puts it on Twitter. She doesn't. She will not hide something like that. It like there was guys back in the day. She has quit doing this, but there was guys back in the early days when I was following, like in 2016, that was sending her dick pics. She would post the guy with who sent them and the dick pic and so on and so forth because she enjoys internet battles. She enjoys these Twitter fights. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, so she would
And
just humiliate guys that were trying to fuck with her, basically.
right. If she was having individuals creep her out in DMs and stuff, she would let you know. Like she wouldn't this hiding it and giggy and kind of trying to act. This hiding and stuff is not her style. I can show
Right.
you cases of many cases of her. I'm one of her. I'm one of the victims of her shenanigans on Twitter.
Did she ever call you out in a public way?
Oh man, has she ever?
Well,
My
I mean,
goodness.
prior to her stopping her streaming, did she ever have a confrontation with you or regarding you on Twitter or in any other public place? Or
No,
no?
no. I never. When it comes to me, when it comes to relationship between me and Margaret, I try my best to keep it as professional as possible. Um, to the point where there was there was guys legitimately talking hitting on her and in the Twitter posts and that would hit on her in the live stream and so on and so forth. And then there was fans that they're longtime fans, and she knows that the fans are joking with her. They joke around
Yeah.
with her a little bit, and she knows that they're joking, right? So longtime fans, she knows they're joking. These newcomers come around to see a tit streamer, right? They don't stay around for long. And they might make comments here and there, that's suggestive in some way.
Well, if you were sitting and
But
watching her playing games
I
and stuff, like, did you like how often would you witness like sexual harassment in her chat?
not very often at all. Period. I mean, not with definitely not with the regulars. Not too often. Like I said, from randoms. Every once in a while, you might see it on occasion, but it was really uncommon. I mean, it like you would think it would happen more. I mean, she's a. I'm not gonna lie, she's a bombshell of a looker. You she's well endowed,
Yeah, just
right?
admit it. Just admit it. You like the tits because the tits are massive on that woman.
Well, see, here's the thing. I hate tits,
What?
right?
How do you
Yeah.
go after a white girl who has the biggest tits ever if you don't like tits?
That's the thing. I like faces. I'm a face man. If you ask people in Discord, if you ask them, what does Kenny think about tits? They'll all tell you the same thing. Kenny hates tits. I'm a face guy.
Well, see, I don't
I
believe
like
you're
nice
black
looking.
now.
I beg your pardon.
I don't believe you're black now. Black guys
I'm
should.
half Native American. Half Native American.
Do you identify more as a Native American than as a black guy?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Well, see, I was adopted by by basically a white household. So my mother is white and my father was Native American. And they adopted me, and so I was basically raised in a white household, and and raised in that kind of environment. So most the culture where I live at is strongly Native American, and so I just most of my life I identify more as a Native American than a black person. Now, within recent years, I've come to accept, hey, I look more black than Native American, so I just swing either way. I just, I did, if some black guy comes up and says, "Hey, my nigga," I said, "Hey, what's up, my brother?" Whatever. If some Indian guy comes up and says, "What's happening, chief?" I say, "What's happening, cuz?" You know. It I don't really put too much weight on which side. I don't really. The cultures ain't really all that different from where I live at anyway. When it comes to Black culture and Native American culture, um, you know what I'm saying. I can't explain it.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
all I'm trying to say is I'm not. I did not donate, and I didn't do this for tits, and I didn't do it for because of a looks. I did it because I thought it was a person in need that could use a helping hand, and I thought it was an individual. And when I saw that she was doing what she was doing with a rundown, overheating computer, being as sickly as she was doing the things she was doing. You know, I thought that if she was given the tools to succeed, better tools, that she could do, great things, right? If you give a person that already has the motivation and already has the talent and the willpower, the tools to succeed, then they will, surprise you with their ingenuity. Um, so that's basically where I was coming from with this. For no other reason besides that. I know there's speculation like, oh, why would a guy donate $300 part if he didn't like the girl and so on and so forth. Like I said, she's a bombshell. I'm not gonna lie.
She's really pretty.
Yes, I'll give her a 9 out of 10. I don't give that to many people in my lifetime, right? But that didn't influence. Well, I guess it did influence. I'm a guy to a point, but it just I've seen better looking women, and yet I didn't donate to them. You see
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
So after it becomes clear, after how long did it become kind of clear that she didn't really want to come back to making content on Twitch or YouTube or anywhere?
It didn't really become stone. Well, that's the thing. She was vague with it. She played around with the idea. She ham-honed around, like right as we like to. So right now, she's doing a live stream with an individual on YouTube right now. So for every week, she has a part. She does a live stream on YouTube. Um, uh,
Doesn't
every
that count as kind
every
of
Sunday.
as keeping up with the promise if she's making content still?
Sorta, kinda, yeah. See, she just now recently started doing that. You see what I'm saying? This is a somewhat. She's only been doing it for about a month and a half.
How long of a break did she take between getting her computer and just starting up this new podcast with this guy?
So the girl, it's it's a
No,
woman
it's
that
two
works
women.
for. Yeah, no, it's one woman, her and one woman, so it's two people in total. Two.
Okay.
So it's a woman that works for Rebel Media, so them two have a podcast together.
Oh, okay.
And stuff. So she completely stopped making any kind of content in August. And she didn't do anything until
This
about
August?
November. No. August 2017, she stopped.
Okay.
And then she didn't do anything pretty much until about October. She did one live stream, and then in
This
November,
October or
I beg your pardon.
this October she started doing stuff? Or
No. Okay, excuse me. Let me. I forgot the name of the day. Okay, so in August of 2017, she stopped completely. She didn't do another live stream or make any kind of videos until October of 2017, Halloween. Okay, she made one video then. Then she went on something called. She went on someone else's live stream in November. And after that live stream, she talked about the possibility of charging more money to Patreons. And not only that, but making it where she's going to charge money per month instead of per video. So that way, she wouldn't have to make any content and she'll still get paid. You see what I'm saying?
right.
And that, to me, that's pretty shady. And it seems pretty shady. Like if you're not keeping your promises as it is, you saying you need more money from Patreon supporters, you've already got a computer that you've asked for, and you're not keeping your promises on that. And then you're saying, you want to change the Patreon type to per month instead of per video. And we're supposed to just believe that you're going to uphold, a certain standard of how many videos you're going to deliver a month. Something don't add up there,
Yeah.
And basically I made a, this was before she hated my guts, but I made a bombshell, message underneath her website post about that.
Do you have a copy of it? I'd like to see that if I could.
Oh yes, I have a copy of it. Just had everything, man.
And when was this made?
Let me try to find it, and I'll tell you the exact date.
How old are you, by the way? Just out of curiosity.
I'm 27.
How old is Margaret?
She's 31.
Oh, okay.
I believe. Yeah, she's 31.
Oh, do you happen to know her birthday, by any chance?
No, I don't know her birthday by heart. The ones where I check on the birthday thing is I look on her Twitter, and she just she said something about it. I have it somewhere. You have to give me some time to find the sorry thing, but I have the website images, but for some reason I don't have my post with me at this time. But that's pretty much the gist of why everybody started thinking she was acting kind of sneaky, kind of shady.
In general, just like your post to her, like, do you have an idea of what you said? Is it just kind of like what you've been, just the story, like a timeline, or did you have something to say?
I just basically just summed up what I've been telling you, but did it in a way to an individual that actually knew what happened, right? So you didn't know the details, but I know that Margaret knows the details. So I'm talking to an individual that knows this. I was trying to remind her of her obligation.
Yeah. So how long ago, or how long after she stopped making videos, did you write this on her blog?
I wrote this on her blog not too long after she put down her new Patreon idea, a Patreon. I don't even know what would you call that setup, Patreon setup.
Oh, you left it on a Patreon post?
No, I left it on the on her website, but it was not long after her. It wasn't long after she made the changes to her Patreon. You see what I'm saying?
Oh, right. Okay, so it was around the same time everything was happening.
Right. When I made that post, that's when she took down her YouTube channel and took down her Patreon.
It was shortly after she after those posts.
Yes. I can't help but think I don't cuss. I don't insult people by name calling too. I mean, on occasion, me and Roxa might have at it in the chat, but typically speaking, I'm not one for foul language and name calling and so on and so forth. So give me one moment and let me I can show you the tweet of Margaret's, at least, about the Patreon thing.
But are you saying that in this post it wasn't offensive, or that you were particularly kind of vulgar in it?
Oh, no, it wasn't offensive. I wouldn't call it any names, and I wouldn't threaten her, and I wouldn't use any cuss words. That's just not me. I don't.
Yeah.
It's not how I usually I do things. And, the closest I come to that when it comes to Margaret is, I sit at home and I'm like, I'm mumbling beneath my breath. I'm like, why are you? I can't believe you did something. I can't, man. Right. That's about as close about that as I ever came to Margaret, after reading something, she did on Twitter.
Yeah. Okay. I would like to see this tweet if you happen to have it.
Yeah, I'm about to send it to you, send it your way.
So between her getting her computer and I guess now, do you think have you been trying to get into touch with her or?
Look, I've long since have tried to get in touch with her this year, but not here in the recently. I've it's been 4 to 5 months since probably 6 months since I've attempted to have contact with Margaret, and expect her to respond back to me, in a civilized, decent way. Um, I'm making this video, but making this video is not my first option. My first option was just to send her a DM and just ask her what's going on, asking so on and so forth. And she just stopped replying. She wouldn't never reply. So I started making it more public, on under her tweets. Hopefully that it would make her respond. And showing screenshots of her saying different things that prove my point. And yet again, she wouldn't respond. And so I went and turned up to maximum, and I challenged her to a kumite. I was going to pay $100. She was talking about how, her time was cost a lot of money, and time is money, and so on and so forth. I said, hey, if Margaret McLennan will accept my challenge, I will pay her $100 for her time, or donate that $100 to any charity that she picks. Right. That's what I told, Failure and Tonka at the time. So, Failure said, yeah, that sounds like a pretty good deal to me. And he sent her a tweet saying, hey, you've been challenged to Kumite. And the next day, I wake up and she blocks me. And she blocks me because she's going to tell Failure something she doesn't want me to see. And the things she tells Failure is a whole list of things that some's true, some's not, and some is completely outrageous about things she says. So basically, she makes this stuff up to give herself a legitimate reason for why she's not going to accept my challenge on a kumite.
So
it's not
for a while, you were kind of in her Twitter, and as like a reply on her public tweets, you were kind of like pointing out like, hey, how come you're not keeping up with these obligations with your live streams?
Right.
And then after a while, you tried to get her to appear on Church of Failure's show, the Kumite. And I guess she kind of backed out of it, saying that she didn't feel safe or something. Like, what was her reason?
Basically, she basically said, Margaret, she's not completely stupid. She knows how to say things, but it's not legally binding. She can say things where people get her point without being legally binding. So,
what did she say about you to kind of save face with not showing up on the Kumite?
So one thing, she alluded to me being a serial killer.
She called you a serial killer?
She alluded to me being a serial killer.
How did she allude to it without just saying it? That's a pretty
basic. Yeah, I know it sounds strange. So basically, she says the individual that's challenging me lives 20 miles away from where three women were killed, and one woman is missing.
Is that true, or?
It's true. I do live in the same city that did happen. I mean, she doxed my city, by the way, but hey, it's true that did happen in my city. And I'm not 20 miles away from it. I don't think it's on the other end of town. I'm in a county, and this. I would have to go to town and then go on the other side of town to get to where this location was at, that these bodies was found, and so on and so forth. So
yeah, that'd be pretty inconvenient to do.
I mean, hey, and I made a point to, underneath the tweets, I'm like, hey, if you think I did it, then you should feel obligated to call the police.
Right.
I mean,
do you think she was joking at all, or do you think that was like an actual attempt?
I think it was an attempt to get. It wasn't a joke. See, Roxo would swear up and down that hey, she's just joking, she's joking, blah blah blah. That's not. She didn't do it in a joking way. I'm autistic, and that's true enough, right? It's possible that jokes can slip past me, definitely. This wasn't a joke because it was also included with other things to also disgrace my name. So for one, she's talking about me buying stuff with my mother's credit card for gifts, buying her gifts with my mother's credit card, for example, right? Um,
Is
which
that true?
has a grain of truth to it. So my mom and father, like I said, they're a generation above me, so they're older than most parents would be when they became parents when they adopted me. So they're older end the spectrum boomers, and they don't know much about computers and stuff. So what happened is I opened an account, an Amazon account, for my mother and father, so they can use it um and order stuff they need from Amazon. So we, as a family, we share an account, okay, and we share a card. Now the card is on my mother's name because the stuff that they order is shipped to their house. And so what happens is if I order something, I just send my mom the money, and she and it goes on credit card to save money and get points. So I send my mom the money, and she pays for it immediately, and jobs are good, right? And that's why the card is in her name for Amazon. It's basically, like I said, we share as a
I guess
family
she
thing.
saw on the donation of the power supply unit that she saw the donator was a woman, and she just kind of assumed that was your mom, and said that you were like stealing the card.
I suppose that's what she was getting at. Basically, she was implying that I was a sad individual buying her gifts from mother's credit card. A basement dwelling, you know, mama's boy, I suppose. The stereotypical, mouth breathing geek, right?
Yeah.
Uh,
Did you
which
buy her any other gifts besides the power supply unit?
yeah, I did, but it wasn't anything but tools for her setup.
Oh, right.
Like for example, sound canceling foam, right?
Acoustic foam. Right.
Yeah, acoustic foam. Another thing is a mic stand.
Right. And
Um,
this was all on her wish list at the time.
yeah, everything was on a wish list. Everything
So
was on a wish list.
okay, so you bought her a couple things to help her with her live streaming stuff. So I can get why you'd be mad that she would not live stream afterwards. Do you have an
Well,
idea of how much you spent altogether for the stuff?
I don't know, about probably $500 total. So
Uh,
the power supply was 300, right? So maybe $200 and stuff, and
Somebody
the
said
other stuff.
700 in voice chat earlier.
I know they like saying a lot of things. It's not true.
Well, did you happen to send anything after the fact, like a couple months later, or?
Come a months later, when? I mean, what are you talking about?
Well, after she got her computer set together, he said that'd be about
Yeah, yeah. I
$500.
mean, that was after I sent the canceling foam after computer stuff.
Did you get
For
her? I
example,
mean, was that the only part that you got her, or
the
did you get her
mic.
like a graphics card or anything like that?
No. That's like I said. The guy donated graphics card. I donated power supply. I can if you give me your word, you're not going to spread his name around. I give you his Twitter, and you can contact the guy that gave her the GPU.
Sure.
Um, you know, and they so basically, like I said, I saw things that she needed that she was missing, like sound canceling things, a mic stand for a Blue Yeti, and so on and so forth. And so I bought these missing things that she needed for her setup. And I guess I shouldn't have bought all that stuff. I was just trying to help. Um,
Yeah.
that was it. I think I mean I did anonymously as well. I didn't put in like, oh, this is from Kenny Jones. How you doing, Margaret? It was all anonymous, and stuff. I just, I thought she needed it. She did need it. She needed it, and just sent her in direction, right?
Who was the
So
guy that got the card?
I mean, I'll link his Twitter. Give me a moment to go on Twitter for a moment.
While this was going on, by the way, did she like block your Twitter accounts? Did you have to make other ones to get around it?
Yep.
Any idea how
Sure.
many Twitter accounts she ended up blocking?
Probably 5 or so. Like I said, I was trying to get my point across and stuff still, and with facts and evidence, and she wasn't having she wasn't happy about being exposed, and stuff.
Yeah. Did you see other people kind of tweeting these kinds of messages too, or was it mostly you that were calling her out?
Everyone else pretty much gave up. Um, for the most part, everybody else, some people, uh, there was a select few people that's major fanboys, and you know, and that would, they basically are doormats for Margaret. If that's pretty much the best summary I can give you of them individuals. Um,
Can you find that
and
guy's Twitter?
then,
I'm just really curious.
I'm trying to find it. His name's Rob. See, I'm not on my typical Twitter. I'm on my alternate Twitter, um, on my computer. So usually I can just go to the DMs and find them that way.
Oh yeah. Did you and Rob kind of talk about trying to get her to go back to doing live streaming and stuff?
We discussed it. Rob is a medical guy. He's in the medical field,
Mm-hmm.
and he doesn't have the time basically to deal with internet women's, in which
Right.
I should have been. If I didn't invest so much money, I guess if I didn't put so much time and effort into it, I guess I would be in the same boat as some of these other individuals. Like, who cares, right? But because he asked for all these things, and because I'm one of her primary supporters and stuff. Um, you know, I have a lot more incentive to keep on going and to keep on asking and keep on seeing, where's the stuff at, Margaret? Where's the videos at, Margaret? You said you're going to do this, Margaret. Where's the stuff at now?
Yeah. You said that she
Yeah,
had a Discord channel, right?
she did. She deleted it when people were starting to call her out on her Discord.
Yeah.
Not just me, but her other fans are starting to call out on her Discord.
Did you engage her on
And
Discord as well?
yeah, I tried to.
Did you go through a couple accounts with that too?
No,
No, just one.
no, just one. No, couldn't. I promised these guys I wouldn't make another account, and I found a loophole by getting my brother to make an account. But we didn't do much with that account either, so it didn't matter anyway.
Well, the fake Kenny in the voice chat was kind of hinting at you got in trouble with your work after for a while, or
Yeah, yeah. Give me a minute to log into my Twitter, because I'm gonna concentrate instead of talking on this thing.
yeah.
But that's an interesting story that you might want to hear, definitely. Okay, the Twitter handle is is at Rickster. So it's the at symbol with lowercase r, lowercase c, lowercase k, lowercase I, lowercase s, lowercase e, lowercase r. And he should come up. He has a black and white little
Okay, I
image.
see it. So you and this guy kind of pal around talking about confronting her in different ways to try and get her back to obliging the.
We discussed it, but he didn't. We discussed it, but he didn't really have time for. Like I said, he didn't really get involved with trying to get her back on. Like he's a graphics card guy. He's the guy, right? If Rockstar will tell you all day long, Kenny donated a graphics card. Kenny donated a graphics card. It was Kenny. This is the guy. Please, when if you contact him, ask him, and he says I donated a graphics card. Please feel free to tell Roxo that I did not donate the graphics card.
Right.
He can't. Okay, so now you want to talk about a job thing, right?
Yeah. I'm just curious about how that came back to you. Was it
Right.
her directly or?
No. It wasn't her directly. So when she called me a serial killer, my account. I use my account for my work as well, and I work for
Your Twitter account,
museum. My Twitter account. My people know me for my Twitter account.
Right.
So I'm a field researcher for the National Museum of the North Carolina Museum of Natural Sciences, in Raleigh, North Carolina, and they have a zero tolerance policy, which means if you get a certain amount of complaints, regardless of what the complaints are for, you get in trouble. So that's what zero tolerance, blah blah. So two people came in raising concerns about basically them saying, hey, this individual says that this guy is a serial killer. Is that true? Is he under investigation? And blah, blah, blah. Right. So basically they had to file those under complaints, and that was 2 complaints, and that was 3 months of me without pay. Right. And that was pretty much it. So because of Margaret's lie, eluding lie, or what you want to call it, I got suspended without pay and stuff, which made me really mad because here's Margaret, making a better life for herself with a computer, and that it was my idea, and I'm helping her out with that. Her life is significantly better off because of the computer and stuff. She can only work at home because of her disease. She's saying on Twitter, how much her life is improving, how the things she's got set, and here she is doing so well with something I help out with, and then basically she does opposite to me, right? She tarnishes my reputation. She instead of me making more money, she costs me money. She costs me my job. That's personal. It starts getting personal then.
Was it just her fans or randoms, or did she do it complain at all, or was it
like I said, it wasn't? I don't think she had any direct involvement in it.
Right.
It was basically just a side effect of something that she did.
Right. And so you said that you got pretty mad and you got suspended, which is pretty understandable. I'd be pretty pissed too. Did you do anything to her while you were suspended or after suspended or?
Nothing illegal, and nothing. I never threatened her and called her any kind of name that that she wasn't deserving of, right?
Right.
I might call her a cheater, right? Something like that, because she seemed like she kind of cheated out of stuff, right? But I didn't call her derogatory names like whore or something stupid like that, because she's not a whore. She's as far as I know, I mean, it's none of my business she is, but as far as I know, she's not. So I never called her a name that I haven't felt that she deserves.
Right. No, and I didn't mean to imply that you did. I'm just curious, like, were you trying to talk to her about it, like on Twitter or anything, or?
No, but by that time, the talking was over.
Right.
I've tried, because another thing I tried was I was trying to find a third party, a go between me and Margaret. What's the one for?
Like a
Kinda,
negotiator or a
yeah, like an ambassador between us.
right.
An intermediary. That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
So I was trying to find an intermediary between us, right? Somebody that can communicate between us. That can maybe either can establish so we can establish communication between me and her, or just settle things between this third party.
Hmm.
And Ralph was one individual I tried,
Okay,
and
so that's how Ralph got involved because you talked to him trying to get some help dealing with her.
right, right. So one of the things I asked him to do was maybe write a story about it. He was writing stories at the time. I said, I have the evidence. I'm not asking you to write a hit piece. I just want the truth out there. I give you my evidence. Feel free to look into it and write the story. But he basically didn't want to get involved because Margaret's a friend of his.
Mm.
And that's a legitimate reason. I couldn't complain too much about that. And I mean, I can't blame the man. And I asked him to be the intermediary between me and Margaret. I was willing to pay him for it. Still that was no. This is before he was big. This is before Killstream got real big. Um, he declined. I tried another woman. The person that owns Warfare Media is a pretty small company that has maybe 10 employees or so. I contacted her saying, hey, if you could, help me establish communication with Margaret, like be an intermediary, so and so with Margaret, so we can work things out and get this thing settled. I want to put an end to it at that point because I could say I lost my job and I want to put an end to it. And that didn't work out. It didn't work out as supposed to. I never sent her an email or anything on this issue. Never sent her emails or anything. Um, this is around the time I got the private detective. So here's the private detective when he comes in. So I don't know I didn't know much at the time about how to go about lawsuits and what can be sued for what and so on and so forth. I didn't know much about it. I never had to sue anyone in my life. I never got sued.
Right.
So the only thing I knew was, from watching televisions, you had to have papers subbed to the individual and had him sign them. And
Hmm.
so to do that, you had to have, basically her address. And so what I was going to do was I was looking for myself a lawyer, and at the same time, I figured I killed two birds with one stone, and have a private detective be looking for an address and phone number, and me be find a lawyer at the same time. And that was my train of thought. And money, I'm not hunting for money, but money was a little bit tighter than usual because I just I'm 2 months in without pay. um
Right.
and so, like I said, I'm looking for a cheaper way of doing things than me going out and finding a super expensive private detective. And I'm looking for online, and I'm typing private detective, and these private detectives are listed on Fiverr or Fiverr. Right. And I said, well, hey, you get it pretty cheap. That man gives me a price, and right, I might, I figured a private detective was a private detective. I didn't really know about licenses and stuff at the time, but I didn't know private detectives had to have a license. And so I said, hey, what I need is I need an address and I need a phone number. Man said, I'll do it. So he gets the address. I mean, excuse me, I'll tell you that. He gets the phone number, but he doesn't get the address, and he still wants to get paid for it. And I said, I ain't gonna pay you. I'm not gonna pay the same price just for a stinking phone number. I mean, that's not what we talked about. I said I want an address and I want a phone number. And then he gets starts getting kind of upset and stuff. And I said, all right, fine. Here's your money. And then he comes back at me. Basically, give me another chance. I think I can really do something. And me, like a fool, I give him another chance. And then that's when he starts trying to blackmail me, $3,000 out of me, or I'm gonna go tell Margaret you're looking for her. I said, well, I'm not paying her $3,000, so go ahead and do it. And so he did it. And so Margaret had a field day on Twitter talking about me being a stalker, and that's when Kenny the stalker began. So I went from Kenny the Twitter serial killer to Kenny the serial killer, Twitter serial killer stalker.
Mm.
And
So the private detective basically just to kind of kind of go back and review this. You went on, I think, Fiverr to find somebody to help you find a servicing address for her so that you could file litigation against her. And
Right.
after he came back with only a phone number, you said you weren't going to pay him, and he tried to extort you for several $1,000s. It sounds like. And when you did you pay or did you not pay?
No, I did not pay him that money. I mean, I think I'm paying him $3,000. To keeping quiet. One is no guarantee he's going to actually keep quiet. And two, I wouldn't pay, even if he wasn't keep quiet, I wouldn't pay him that kind of money for something like that. I wouldn't. It's not like that. The kind of money that he's asking for is something that somebody's guilty. If I was hiring him to be an assassin or something stupid like that, then that's the kind of money that people that's doing something illegal would pay.
Yeah.
But as far as I'm concerned, I'm doing everything within the law. There's no, go ahead and tell Margaret. Sure, I would prefer if she didn't know because just like just like that happened, she got the wrong idea and she spread the wrong idea out there, and everybody thinks I'm a stalker. But it's not illegal. I don't.
Did you have any correspondence with this private detective that would he could have shown her to give you that impression, or did he just say?
What are you talking about?
Like, did you say anything to him about what had happened? Did you give him any kind of background? And he kind of showed that to her. That kind of gave her the impression that she was being stalked.
Yeah,
as opposed to.
I get. I mean, I don't. I got his. We communicated through Discord as well. So I got some of the things, I think, if I'm not mistaken. But basically, I mean, I don't. He wasn't English. That's another thing. So we had a way to communicate most of the time. So whether I don't know if I told him the story, but I don't know how much of it he actually understood. So on and so forth. But yeah, I did tell him the story. I think, but how much he understood, I don't know of it.
Yeah. But he just saw an opportunity to make a little bit more money, trying to keep her from knowing that you were looking her up.
Yeah, pretty much. I think in his mind, I think he thought I was doing something illegal, and so he was trying to hold that over me to get more money out of me. Which, like I said, I wouldn't do anything illegal, so I was like, well, go ahead and do it.
Well,
and he did.
Did he ever get you her address, or was it just the phone number?
No, I never got her address.
So now, did you ever call her with that phone number, or?
No, I never called her that phone number.
Did you post it anywhere?
I told him not to call her that phone number, but he did anyway.
Was that how he told her over the phone?
Yeah, he told her by text message, I believe.
Oh, okay.
And she posted it. Posted the text message she got on Twitter.
Oh, is that still public by any chance?
Yeah, somewhere on the Twitter. It says, Kenny, Kenny's the one that hired me. Look into you and so on and so forth, or something like that.
Yeah.
So she got that on the phone.
Well, I think I remember. I think I remember in voice chat somebody said that you did call her. Is that true?
No. Look, she's gotten calls from people she's gotten calls from people from different numbers or something of those lines or something.
Yeah.
The thing here's the thing, right? I'm not a coward. If I wanted to call Margaret, I wouldn't use a third party phone. I just use my phone. I don't. There's nothing I had. There's nothing I had to lose. There's nothing. You see what I'm saying? The reason I don't call Margaret, well, there's two reasons. One, because she didn't give me her number, therefore it's not polite to call her. And two, even if I did call her, once she knew who I was and heard my voice, she would hang up and block the number.
How would she know your voice?
It wouldn't get me anywhere, right? So,
how would she recognize your voice?
We've talked during a game stream before.
Oh, okay.
And
has she ever? Sorry to interrupt. Has she ever explicitly said don't contact me? Has she ever gotten a restraining order or anything like that?
Never once.
Okay.
No. That's another strange thing I never understood about Margaret. Yeah, you would think she would say eventually, "Don't contact me. Don't talk to me. I'm sick of hearing from you." But instead, she just don't say anything. Like that's as far as it went. Like on Twitter, on Discord, everywhere. Like she never said it. Like that's like I don't understand. If you would think that she would say that, but she never did. I can't explain why she didn't. If she hated my guts as much as she appears to hate my guts, then that's what I would do if I was in a position. I would, but she never did. I don't know. I was the only person in her Discord, in her live streams, in her Twitter, and everything else that never once made a lewd comment nor a pickup line towards her. Right? I never tried it. She said not to her fans, as a whole, and I respected that. I said, okay, I never crossed that line, and I never did. And as far as I know, I followed all the rules to the letter, as much as like I do in Ralph's Discord. I followed the rules to the letter.
Have you considered following through with your litigation? Is that
I tried it, and basically it'd be more trouble than it's worth because.
What do you mean by that? You tried it? Did you consult a lawyer? Did you file anything?
Yes. I talked to a lawyer, and he said it'd be more trouble than it's worth because it'll be an international lawsuit.
Oh,
right? So it'll be United States and Canada.
Oh, I didn't know she was Canadian. That does complicate things, doesn't it?
Oh yes. She's from Halifax, Nova Scotia.
Okay.
Canada.
And you just know the city. You don't know where her address is.
No. I mean, she publicly gave her city. That's not private information. My city was private information until she doxed my city. But hey, apparently I'm the one that's guilty of doxing somehow. I don't know. At least in Ralph's mind, I'm a stalker, and I'm the guilty party in Ralph's mind. I don't know how he comes to that conclusion, but he's publicly called me a stalker twice on Discord.
Well, they mentioned like a video. Is it true that you're working on like an expose video?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes. I'm on a third and final step right now. I paid someone to do the editing and stuff and put all the pieces together and
not
all the
fiber by any chance, right?
Yes, I hired some all fiber. Okay, I did. Yeah. Look, but video editing isn't like you would think. See, one, this person's American, and two, I've already talked to them in Discord voice chat, and they've already they understand. What
where was the first guy from?
I beg your pardon?
Where was the first guy from? The guy that extorted you?
Who knows? Like Egypt, far east, somewhere, Bangladesh.
Bangladesh. That is pretty fucking far. That's about as far away as you can get.
Yeah, I don't like. He wasn't from. He was a pain to talk to and anything else. I don't think I ever talked to him through voice. I think we tried one time, but
he wasn't Bhutanese by any chance, was he? He couldn't be Zidane.
Oh, it wasn't Zidane. It wasn't Zidane.
So how much are you paying this guy to edit your video? Just out of curiosity, because it seems like it's a pretty straightforward project. $100. How long is the video? Or how long do you think it'll be?
About 10 minutes.
Okay, and it's just going over what we've talked about.
Basically, it's going over basically. Yeah, with evidence and context. I had to pay a voice actor. That's another, that cost me some too. I had to pay somebody to write the script. It cost me some too.
Did you pay about $100 per person, or?
Yeah, I did.
So this video, I guess it's going to be kind of professionally produced because you paid a writer to kind of sort through your story and write a thing for you, and you paid a voice actor to narrate it for you, and you paid somebody to edit it professionally as well.
That's right.
So it should be pretty hard hitting then, hopefully.
If everything goes as planned, it will be a decent video. I'm not going to say it's going to be a slobber knocker, a stone cold stunner or something like that.
Yeah.
But it's this video. The primary reason I'm making it is to put closure. I want to have something to put closure for myself more than anything. because I've been dealing with this for almost a year and a half. I'm tired. Roxo is not the first person I've had to deal with. That chat and that Discord and people on Twitter and throughout other Discords, Wikipedia Discord, Wikipedia,
The Wikipedia
I
Discord.
yeah, I've been the butt of the joke from here to it does like it just
To Bangladesh.
to Bangladesh. That's right, to Bangladesh. So I mean, I'm sick of it. I'm tired of it. You know, uh, I mean, in personal issue, like I had personal issues with, you know, during the same period when Margaret was, not doing what she's supposed to do with a computer. My father died in 2017 from cancer. I had neurosurgery in November to help take care of an aneurysm. My brother died a few months ago in 2018, and it's just, mentally speaking, I'm not all that stable, and I'm fed up with this nonsense and
It seems
these
like this should be at
accusations.
the bottom of your list of concerns, though.
It yeah, I'm trying to put an end to it. You know, that's what the video is for. It's for me to put an end to this dead topic, this dry subject. But unfortunately, you know, you got these individuals, starting nonsense in the Discord over there. So if Margaret watches that video and she goes on Twitter and uses it against me, even after that video, I might can't still let it go because when they search for my name, I'm gonna be on the internet and Margaret with all these accusations and accusing and so on and so forth. And you can only put an end to it if you take care of it not too long after it happened, not two
Well,
years down the line.
in my thought though is that if you were trying to put an end to it, like and this video was closure to you, but you recognize that retaliation might cause you to spur into it again, come back to this, and continue trying to confront Margaret, you'd think you'd maybe not want to make the video.
I spent all this money and working on this video. I just cannot leave it on the cut moon floor.
Well, you can finish it. You can watch it yourself, and maybe not.
Watch it. I mean, that's not gonna help other individuals from falling for a trap. I mean, it's not gonna help another individual from making my mistake. I mean, some if I help one individual, not succumb to Margaret's good looks and whatever else. Like actually, I didn't. This wasn't her good looks I've succumbed to, but like succumb to her good looks and donate money, think she's going to do something. If I just convince one individual to think twice, that's something. At least that's someone benefited from my lesson that I've learned. I can't just leave it for myself to watch. I mean, it's ridiculous.
So, is your objective then to kind of cut her off from support?
Well, this will be a warning. Warning to us, just to attempt, which I doubt is going to ever happen, but to attempt to clear my name somewhat, and to have the real story in a clear, undisputed fashion with proof and evidence that's given, and stuff. But I wouldn't be surprised that after this stupid kill stream that I'll be hearing from Mr. Medica, and I'll be his next Ross and
Well,
stuff.
hopefully you're not a pedophile. I don't think you would go.
I'm saying the law cow aspect
Yeah.
of Ross, right?
Well, Jim's
I'm not.
unpredictable. I don't know if he would consider you like material enough for that kind of thing.
If he gets Roxo's story, and that's the story he's gotten, then yeah, I'll be interesting to him.
Ideally,
But Mr. Medica is the kind of individual that actually looks into things. So I doubt, I doubt once he knows that once he sees that there's some decent reason for the things I did, I don't think he would care too much.
maybe. But ideally, I mean, after this video comes out, you said it's partly trying to clear your name, but also as a warning. Do you think that, like, in an ideal world, after this comes out, would she have any patrons? Would she have any kind of supporters? And
The Patreon's gone.
Well, how is she collecting support from donors and stuff? Does she actually
Well,
have
right
a?
now she's pretty much not collecting support. But she's trying. She's still trying to ask people for PayPal donations and so on and so and Bitcoin and stuff.
So ideally, after this video, nobody would be donating to her on PayPal or through Bitcoin.
Right, right. Hopefully.
You mentioned just really briefly. You mentioned like the Wikipedia Discord. Have you tried like amending this information to her Wikipedia pages? Does she have one?
Wikipedia Discord. No. I'm talking Encyclopedia Dramatica Discord.
Oh, okay. So you were trying to compile this information on the ED article for her. If there is one.
Right. See, here's the thing. I when I went to I don't know much about I don't really know that much about Reddit. I don't know much about 4chan or 8chan or Tumblr. I'm 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 just about as close to a normie as you can get without being a normie. Okay.
Right.
So when it comes to your website and to Encyclopedia Dramatica, I didn't understand that it's supposed to be a kind of, at least Encyclopedia Dramatica. I didn't understand that it wasn't just accumulation of information. It was accumulation of negative information, right? It's to make fun of the individual, not just accumulation of information itself, right? So I didn't know that, and so when I posted, I went on a website and I posted, I basically copied and pasted basic information about Margaret. I was gonna put that information up there, and then later on put down the other information about what she did. But before I had a chance to, I got banned for what they call it spam, because basically the thing that I posted wasn't funny and insulting enough, and I didn't realize that was the idea, and so I went to the Discord to see if I can get myself unbanned for spamming and so on and so forth, and well, they ate me alive. What can I say?
So spam's a kind of particular ban though. I can't imagine that you got banned just for trying to append something they didn't like. Like, did you try
That's
to make a bunch of articles on her, or
Nope,
did you try to resubmit the same information multiple times, or?
nope, spam. One time, I made a page for myself, just a placeholder, uh, but just spam. I mean, I did those two pages. I think on the same day, uh, a placeholder for myself. I didn't know any better,
So you made your own
but
ED page article?
yeah, well, I didn't really put anything on it. I don't think I put anything on it.
Have they added
Um,
information since?
no. One guy said he might, now that I've been the lamb to his slaughter over there. Which, hey, if they want to add me, have at it. But it's just that that's all I did. I didn't constantly put stuff up there, and I got banned for spam for that one time. And I went to him and I told him that, and I explained to him, and and they asked me, well, what'd you do? I said, well, I tried to make a post about this woman. Why'd you try to make a post about this woman? Well, I donated, she trying to, did us wrong about on Patreon, and me donated computer parts and stuff. And well, they basically went and turned to a rock show on me, right? That's it.
You mentioned Roxo a lot. Are there other people who kind of get your goat on the kill stream
And
live?
they eat me alive.
Is it like, well, besides Roxo, is it like Negro Joe? Who else is the
He eats me alive. Caesar eats me alive. Yeah, everybody pretty much eats me alive. They all eat me alive.
why do you
They eat
stay
me
on
alive.
the kill stream?
I stay on the kill stream. I will stay on kill stream to let as many people know about my video as possible. And once the video comes out and I've done a little bit of promotion for it, I'm going to disappear off the internet entirely. Just gone, kaboo, gone. No Twitter, no Discord, no YouTube, gone, off. And like I said, there's some individuals that simply aren't meant to be on the internet, and I'm one of them. And this is a prime example of what happens when an individual that isn't meant to be on the internet attempts to be on the internet.
Yeah. So I don't know. You seem very aware that people online would be kind of cruel to you. I'm just kind of confused why, if you have this job, and I've been told that your job pays well, it pays about 6,000 a month, which is really nice. I'm just curious why you wouldn't just give up on this chick? Why you wouldn't just move on and find somebody else?
Because she made it personal.
Well, did she make it personal before you got suspended from work?
No, well, no, not really.
Why didn't you give it up
It
before
was
then,
more.
though?
I don't know. Like I said, I invested a lot of time and money in it, and I just want her to stop making content again. And
Well, it seems like
it
would be better just not to associate or follow her content.
Well, I was naive and stupid at the time. Right?
See, my thought now is you mentioned that she made it personal by going after your work, right? So
well, she made it. Yeah, that's what made it personal. And she did what she did in my name. That's what made it personal.
but
Not
do you think
what
that
now?
by making this video, people might eat you alive, as you say, again?
That doesn't matter because I won't be here.
What do you mean you won't be there?
I won't be online. Like I said, I'm leaving the internet.
Okay, but
After the
I mean,
video,
you're still going to be working
after
your job, right? People are still going to know where you work.
Well, my job's changed slightly, so I don't work at the place anymore. So I don't have to worry about the zero tolerance as much. So I don't work at the museum. I work, I'm out in the field solely now. So I don't have any interaction with the public.
Do you get paid by the museum?
Yeah, it's the same thing. I get paid the same, but I'm just solely a researcher. Before I was a researcher and a lab kind of guy,
Oh,
but
okay.
now I'm solely out in the field, and I mean, so now I can't be affected by that zero tolerance thing. If they want to show up at that thing, I just I mean, there's nothing can happen to me now.
I don't know. Be careful with that.
I don't. Yeah, like I said, it doesn't. There's nothing can happen with my job now. Not with a zero tolerance policy thing in mind. If I end up getting I just don't see me getting fired for it. If I do get fired for it, then yeah.
I mean, especially if you're considering that this video might get Jim to do like a video on you.
No. I didn't say Jim was going to do a video because of my video. I was talking about Jim might do a video because the nonsense made by the kill stream today or this morning or whatever you call it.
And you're 100% certain that if Jim sees your side of the story presented in this video that you're creating, he will not do a video on you.
I'm pretty sure. I mean, I'm not that much of a log cow. I don't think so. I mean, if Jim, hey, look, if Jim wants to do a video of me, like, hey, I do it. I give him. I mean, I talk to him. I don't. I do it, but I mean, I don't think I'm on the category level of anybody he deals with. I would hate to think that I'm that sick in the head. If I was truly stalking Margaret, if I was, basically in her trash can digging up toenail clippings, right? That would be the kind of Jim story that I'm thinking, right?
Well, even if Jim doesn't do a video, like what's immediately going to happen following the release of this video is that Ralph is going to watch it, and he's probably going to watch it with Margaret, and they're probably going to talk about it line by line.
Okay, that's look. I got to do something with my name. I gotta do something to warn people. I got to do something with the money I spent and the time I've invested in this. It's not just something that I can say. Well, I changed my mind. Just there's a certain amount of commitment already been committed here. I would be lying if I said I don't care about my job. I care about my job. It's my dream job. It means nothing to the people on Discord. It's laughable to these guys.
But
But
if it's your dream job, why would you jeopardize it? Because you say there's nothing they can do to your job. There's no zero tolerance policy. But I mean, if they go after your, because it's the same place of work, and if they continue to complain about you because of alleged harassment with this woman, don't you think that that's going to jeopardize even that relationship?
But you have to do it in person, though, right? So them two individuals came in person. You can't just make a phone call.
Yeah, you can. There was a guy who got fired from his job as a trash man over internet comments, and all they did was comment on the garbage company's website, and he got fired from it. He was not allowed to collect trash for them after internet comments.
I'm trying to explain the policy of the museum.
But okay, the policy of the museum is just rules. It's like this is the typical case. But if you get like a gym video and 1,000 people contact your place of work, the policy really doesn't matter. They're not bound to be that protective of you.
I agree.
So it would be very bad if that happened, right? You would agree with that?
If that was the scenario, yes, it would be very bad. However, the chances are extremely slim.
There's zero slim. Right now. There's a 0% chance that 1,000 people would harass your place of work right now. There is a non-zero chance that would happen if you publish this video.
Well, actually, there's a higher chance right now because someone went on the kill stream in front of 3,000 people and impersonated me, right? So that now there's a higher chance. So actually, a gym video wouldn't actually increase it all that much, after something like that. This is my name. This is my Kenny Jones, right? So when that guy went out there and they put Kenny Jones with my logo, which I'm pretty sure he did, with my logo, that's my look up Kenny Jones. 3,000 people saw it.
But they're not going to find it from that. They might find it, but like just some guy in person, and that's easy to explain away. At work, asked about that. Hey, this guy said some stuff on the stream. What do you got to say about it? You just say, well, it wasn't me. It was just some guy that sounds like me making a joke. I mean, really, if I were you, I would ghost now. You have nothing to gain from this.
There's different reasons as to why I don't want to do that. Like I said, one, I invested this time and money in this stuff. Two, it's personal, right? It's personal. She made it personal, and I need closure.
But don't you think that risking? I mean, you said it's your dream job. You legit use the word dream job.
Yes, I do. I don't believe me when I tell you I don't take that lightly. Okay, I understand the gravitude of what could potentially happen, right? We're talking about a particular scenario, which that I've calculated, I've calculated to my best of my ability of having extremely low chances of happening, right? So, like you said before, we talked about it. I'm making a professional quality video. I let a third party write the script. I'll let a third party, do a voiceover. I'm letting a third party edit the script. These are people that actually, that has, at least the first two people has done an extremely good job, and I would say it's a professional level. All right. If you do a real good job, if I do a real good job with this video, which is turned out to be a good video right now, I simply don't see it turn to be a net negative for me.
Because especially right now, I mean, the way that you persistently maintain contact with her is going to come off stalkerish with people. Because that's what she's going to say. When she sees this video and she sees that you're continuing to try and rob her of support, she's going to say that you stalked her. And especially in the current political climate, that's the last thing that you want a woman saying about you.
But she's already said it. What?
She can say it again. Again, I want to know, if you lose this job, what happens?
I guess I get me another one.
You just get another one?
I mean, it's not gonna be. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's not gonna be easy. There's not. You don't go to the next town over and you find a job for a herpetologist. Yeah, but I mean, other jobs are out there. If nothing else, I can open up my own lab, right? I'm like, I just not. I mean, like I said, I'm not taking this lightly. I see I clearly see the consequences. I've had the consequences of being the butt end of the joke and the lol cow for a year and a half, having people lie about me and humiliate me when all I've tried to do is be honest and do the right thing, right? And instead, I'm treated as if, that I'm the one of the lowest scums on the internet. You know, I'm trust me when I say I know the burden and the gravity of the situation. I've analyzed it, quite heavily at nighttime when it keeps me up.
Well, okay, you said that you and your parents shared like an Amazon account. Do you live with them?
No, I don't live with them.
How far away do you live from them?
I live about 45 minutes away.
Do you need their help with anything at this point? Do you live completely independently?
Completely. Actually, they need my help. At least my mom does.
Well, if they need your help,
my father died. My father died in 2017. So like this is like go over there and cut grass and stuff like that.
Well, if they need your help to function, and you lose this job as an outcome of this video, and going after this woman again, are you just going to move them with you to wherever you get your next job?
I don't know. It's possible.
You said that you did the math and you calculated the risk.
I calculated the risk. I didn't calculate what I'm going to do in that very unlikely scenario when it goes nuclear in my face, right? I mean, if it goes nuclear in my face, then I figure it out. But I'm just when I tell you that it just the chances are so slim. Like one, it's the video is going to turn out. Is it going to be that extremely bad? It's not going to be like, and two, like, so when she points to this video and people say, look at that video, it's not going to lead them to conclude that I'm a stalker.
There is a 100% chance that Ralph is going to do a video over this. There is a very high chance that Margaret, who I imagine still has a lot of followers because she's still doing stuff online, is going to tweet about it. And there's a non-zero chance that Jim is going to make a video on it and talk about this after the fact.
He's not going to make a video. Jim isn't going to get involved. Let me tell you, if I'm hoping Ralph, I've been nice. I've been nice to Ralph. I've been polite to Ralph. I follow the rules for Ralph. But me and him both know that he's done some unethical things to me when it comes to Margaret, and like I've tried my best. I've tried my best so far to grin and bear it, so I can make this video and just get by. So like, but if Ralph stopped making videos, then I'm making myself another video, and he's not gonna like that video.
What are you gonna say about Ralph?
I'm gonna tell the truth.
What's the
truth?
Like I
always do. I'm not going to talk about it. I'm not going to talk about Ralph, because if I talk about Ralph and it gets out, then that's be justification for him to talk about me and it start a war.
He's going to talk about you regardless.
I don't care. I'm not going to.
You just said you cared. You said you would retaliate against him if he said anything about you.
No. I'm going to leave until he makes that video. The case with me and Ralph is closed. That's my position. All right. Until then.
But you know for sure it's going to happen.
And I don't know for sure. No one can lead the future.
I'm pretty sure it would happen. I'm pretty sure, like, because I don't know why you think if he's fans with this chick, and you're going after her income. I mean, first of all, I don't even understand
because
that.
He knows I'm right.
He knows you're right. So you're saying right now he would agree with you on what you're saying.
He knows he doesn't. He knows not to challenge me when it comes to Margaret. He knows better.
Why does he know better?
Because he knows I'll win. He knows that he don't have a stone cold bit of evidence to support that I'm the aggressive party in this. He knows, and there's a good reason for why he hasn't called me out one-on-one on Killstream by now. There's a good reason why he hasn't accepted my offer to have a kill stream about this. He knows. There's a good reason why he hasn't invited Margaret on with me on there to go ahead and own me, because him and Margaret both know that I have the evidence and they don't. I have the winning proof here. They don't got nothing.
What if it was just because she doesn't want to encourage you by contacting you?
I don't. That's not. I don't. That yeah. Like I'm just trying to explain when it comes to me and Ralph. You talking about me and Ralph? I'm just trying to explain why where I'm getting the idea from. You see what I'm saying? Like this is.
I don't understand it though. Like what would keep Ralph from saying that you're wrong? If he has her on a stream and they're watching your video together and they're commenting live as it goes on.
Oh, I'm talking about. I was talking about him challenging me, like me and him on the same stream talking. That's what I was talking about. I wasn't talking about them two doing a narration over my video.
Well, he might not find it entertaining, but I don't think he would side with you.
He doesn't have proof. He doesn't have evidence. He doesn't have witnesses.
In fact, I just remember
I have all those.
When I was talking to Dr. Ratso in the voice chat, he said that you were supposed to be on the kill stream with him talking about this today, and he
no, that's a lie. That's a lie.
Why would he lie about that?
Because he wants me on kill stream so he can make me a public lolcow.
Well, if he can do that, why would Ralph not do that?
Because Ralph, because Ralph is an individual that he can't. How can I explain? So see, Roxo is a troll. He uses troll tactics. A troll that uses troll tactics doesn't require evidence. It doesn't. He doesn't really require logic. His goal is to make me lose my cool. His goal is to get me to start stuttering. His goal is to make the audience. Is to get the audience on his side. It's not to understand the minutiae of the situation and the evidence that's presented.
But if Ralph is friends with this chick, I don't think that he's going to be concerned with the minutiae either.
But Ralph is in a situation and where he has had people on before where he's had to give them a fair chance. If he has me on there and he just makes accusations and I try to give him proof and evidence and stuff, and he doesn't want to accept it, he doesn't show it, he doesn't acknowledge it, that doesn't look good for Ralph. See what I'm saying? Ralph has a name and a brand he must protect. Roxo doesn't have one. Therefore, he has something to
Ralph's
lose.
name and brand is called the Kill Stream, and I'm pretty sure that is to get that kind of troll reaction from stuff.
He also have to give some people a fair chance when they're accused of something. Did you see that the thing with Zoom?
No.
You didn't see that video? For example, Zoom was accused of some crazy shenanigans. They had a multitude of different individuals on there, right? Each individual had a chance to ask questions, and Zoom had his chance to make his rebuttal. I'm not, I'm tired. I'm sick. I'm just like, I don't like believe me when I tell you that I don't want any more trouble from anyone. All I want to do is make this one final piece of closure.
But you know for sure that's not going to be it. You know for sure.
I know. On the contrary, I think it's going to be, because I'm not big news. I'm not big news. At the end of the day, I'm nothing. I'm nobody.
You could be big news at any moment, depending on how far this escalates. Because you've already said that you're willing to go back and forth with Ralph.
I really don't want to if he makes a video. But if he makes a video, I might.
And what if your retaliation to Ralph is big enough that Jim wants to do a video on you? Are you going to go back and forth with Jim?
If I go back and forth with Ralph, I might as well go ahead and make myself a YouTube channel. I don't want to be a public figure. I don't want to be a public figure. You have no idea. You have no idea how much I dread such a thing.
But are you intending on publishing this video anonymously?
Well, I mean,
is that why you went to the trouble of paying people to write it and speak it and edit it for you because you didn't want to have your name attached?
You hear my voice, right? You hear my accent, my speech impediment. clearly, I can't be taken seriously, right? And a video that really needs that needs to be taken seriously. I can't. It wouldn't be taken seriously if I did a voiceover.
But are you
Okay,
going to publish it
and
anonymously?
if I did the script, it'd be autistic as all hell, right? So I need a professional to do the script for me. So it won't be a joke for the voice actor to have to read. Am I going to do it anonymously? I mean, it's going to be on a channel that everyone knows that I own. Everyone knows I made the video pretty much. Everyone that's going to pretty much watch it. I don't know if I'm going to put my name on it. The channel that's going to have it on it isn't going to be is it going to have my name on it? I don't know. I wouldn't say anonymous because pretty much everybody knows who made it. But then again, I don't plan on putting on my channel.
No, so what do you mean? It's just a secondary channel that you already know that people know
it's
your works?
Margaret. I own a archive channel for Margaret's videos.
So you archive all her videos as well?
Some of her videos, yes. The reason I archive her videos is because her Patreon supporters bought them and sponsored her videos.
Well, she still owns the intellectual property of those videos.
Yes, she does. And here's the thing: I'm not. It's not none of them are. How can I say? None of them are being monetized.
Well, that doesn't matter. She could DMCA them, for instance, if she wanted to.
She could, but she's tried, and I counted it, and she wasn't willing to go to court for it. That's what happened. All right. Look, people, and this is how I see it. And this is how I justify it. And I'll be honest with you. She owns the rights to the videos.
Just wanted to make a quick video for you.
Pretty much in total,
just found out.
Right? The thing is if an individual
every single one of my videos
pays for something,
it's not really a
if
revenue
an individual
stream for me,
makes something possible, sponsors something, and makes it possible, that individual should have the right to have access to it.
Right? Well, you realize the main reason that she probably didn't want to counter your claims is that if she were to try and counter your claims, she would have to give you her address and stuff, right?
Well, I mean, I don't know her true reasons, but regardless of her reasons, I've stopped caring about Margaret's what Margaret wants. I've stopped caring months ago once she started accusing me of being a serial killer. You know what I'm saying? So I don't really take what she wants in consideration anymore. It's just like I said, people sponsor those videos. People made those videos possible. They wouldn't. They opened a Patreon, asked for money for those videos. And people should have the right to watch the videos that they made possible. To me, let me ask you a question, right? So you put it another way. If there's Kickstarter. Have you ever kickstarted a game at all?
I've not, but I know what it is.
Okay, so let's pretend for a moment that there was a game coming out, an indie game, and that was being kickstarted, and you decide to put in, let's say, a small amount, $5. Right, it's not much money, but it's $5. And so the game developers, they say, "Hey, we got enough money. We're gonna make the game. You guys, we appreciate it. We asked you for this certain amount of money. You achieved it. We're working on the game, right?" So the developers in question, go and start working on a game, and they say, "Okay, it's ready." And you're like, "Oh, hey, when is it coming out? When's the release date?" And then the developer says, there is no release date. I'm keeping it to myself. It's just for my personal collection. I'm just gonna keep it on my shelf. There's no access to it. You can't play it. You can't see it being played. It's just, I want it for my collection. It's just gonna sit on my shelf. To me, that's not right.
Well, don't you think a more apt comparison is if they do let you buy the game, but or they just don't give it to you for the amount that you charge? My problem with that is, I archive a lot of stuff. I get that. I do believe in archiving stuff. But the strange thing with this is that it's that you run it, and it seems to be a sort of sense of entitlement. It's like I gave you the money for this PSU, so you're going to make the videos. And then when she takes the videos down, you say, well, I own the videos, or I own rights to the videos because I was your patron during this time. And it seems like a lot of entitlement that doesn't really necessarily that shouldn't really exist, because that is, in actuality, the kind of mindset of a stalker. Have you ever heard of a guy called Russell Greer by any chance?
No, I haven't.
Russell Greer is a bona fide stalker of somebody called Taylor Swift. And he has sued her multiple times over violation of contract. And what he alleges in his lawsuits is that he bought something from her and felt obligated that she take her out or take him out on a date. And because she didn't take him out on a date, she violated that contract. Now, obviously, it was never said that she was going to date him if he donates this money to meet her in person. They did meet in person, but they didn't progress to a date. But now he thinks that's reason for a lawsuit. Don't you think it's kind of similar? I bought you a PSU, so you have to make these videos for me. Don't you think that's a kind of obligation that I guess really doesn't exist, because you didn't sign a contract with her. She said that she was sick, right? She said that she had work obligations.
Well, she says she had work obligations, but I don't that wasn't that isn't sufficient reason for not giving at least an hour a week. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, there has been times in my lifetime that I have very little time to spare. I have been extremely busy, and that may have been a week where I couldn't spare an hour, right? I can only eat and sleep, and that's how much time, other than my job, I can do. However, suggesting that she could, that every week, no matter what week it was, she simply couldn't find an hour of time to press two buttons on a computer and play and to stream Overwatch, even though she's already playing it, is ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't make any sense. It's not logical. Now, you're talking about how I seem to be saying I'm entitled, and you have a point to a certain degree. And the truth about it is, Patreon supporters are indeed entitled to to what they are promised. Yes, they are indeed entitled. It's if someone says I'm going to do something, if you become my Patreon, then Patreon supporters are entitled to what you said you're going to do. All right. So when she says I'm going to stream content, I'm going to make more videos, I'm going to play games with fans, and so on and so forth, I'm willing to do all these things. If you help with this, if I get these computer components, if you help me with this PC, then yes, she says she's going to do that thing. That's an obligation that she says she was going to do in exchange for the computer components.
Didn't you say it was your idea to make the wish list, though?
No. It was her. That was her wish list. She made a wish list. It was my idea to get the guys to give one component a piece. You see what I'm saying? Not every component was bought off the Amazon. They were simply bought in other ways. So, for example, Rob had a spare CPU. So he sent that spare CPU to Margaret. You see what I'm saying? Instead of buying it off Amazon.
Right. Well, I mean, okay, I agree to an extent that if you're a Patreon of someone and you're giving them a certain amount of money and they say they're going to do something, they should do it. I think everybody would agree with that. Do you know a lot about her condition, Crohn's disease?
I beg your pardon?
Do you know a lot about her condition, Crohn's disease?
I know a little. I know a little bit about it.
Are you aware of how painful it is?
Yes, I'm pretty aware of it. I'm also aware that she's claimed over the last several months that she's feeling better than ever. That she goes to the gym, she works out. She's able to.
The last several months was after after your dispute with her, right?
Yeah.
So
it was.
Think of it like this: you're talking to her, and she agrees that she's going to do the schedule if she gets her parts. But then her complications rise up. They have to. I think they operated on her. No, that was before. But
no.
In that kind of pain, even if he did take an hour out to do a live stream, I can't imagine the quality would be that great. You would essentially be watching a patient in agony trying to play Overwatch. I can't imagine that would be.
You wouldn't, but you wouldn't need I mean, you have to understand that we wasn't asking for necessarily a webcam.
But you were asking her to play despite being in pain.
We were asking her to live stream a game that she was already playing
While in pain.
She was playing it.
It's not like that she was playing it, but not live streaming it.
It's because it showed up on her Discord.
So so you were looking at her Discord while she wasn't streaming, and it said that she was playing Overwatch. I mean, she could just be in the menus, right?
We were part of her Discord, right? So when she had at certain times she had there was a time when the games that she plays pops up underneath her name on the Discord. Right. So when she starts playing Overwatch and that Overwatch pops up, she's playing Overwatch. Another thing is she has a friend named Simon. That's his name, Simon. He does live streaming, and every once in a while you'll see her pop on there for about an hour or 2 hours. Live streaming Overwatch with him. He's not live streaming. She could mash two buttons on the keyboard and live stream.
Well, live streaming is a bit more than hitting buttons. You gotta be prepared for it. You gotta exercise your voice, and you gotta hydrate. You have to have a presence. It's not just like if she was streaming with no voice, you would say that's unacceptable, right?
I'll be happy with that.
If it was just her streaming without any voiceover.
Do you know why I'll be happy with that? Because it'll be better than nothing.
See, that sounds creepy to me because it's like
no, it doesn't. It's better than nothing.
But it's like you want her to stream so badly, you'll take her with no camera, with no voiceover or commentary whatsoever. Just knowing that she's sitting there live streaming is enough for you, and that to me is like she's doing what she can do to keep her word, to keep her commitment. Yes. If someone told you, here's another thing. If someone told you that, hey, I'm gonna do your yard for I'm gonna cut your grass, I'm gonna trim your trees and bushes, I'm gonna do all these. I'm gonna do this thing for $50. You're paying $50. I take care of your yard. And the person doesn't show up the next day. You pay him the $50, because he says, honestly, I gotta go back. I gotta get something to eat and stuff. You pay him $50 ahead of time. He doesn't show up the next day. He doesn't show up he just doesn't show up at all, right? Him doing nothing, it looks pretty bad. It seems like the guy completely cheated you. It looks like the person just completely used you, right? However, if that individual comes over and says, hey, I don't have much time today, but what I'm going to do is I can't cut all your grass, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim your bushes at least. And I'm gonna try to do your grass maybe tomorrow, and so on and so forth. You see, the act of trying to do part of your commitment means a lot to people that's thinking, hey, this woman could cheat us. Hey, this woman could scam us. Hey, she won't communicate. She won't explain herself. She won't say anything. She's not telling us anything. She's ignoring us on Discord. She's outright ignoring us on Twitter. She hasn't made a video update. She hasn't done any of these things, right? So so when I say it's better than nothing, it's better than nothing. It's not as if I'm saying, hey, if I have to tie you down with a ball and chain, you're gonna play this game. It's not like it. It's not in that same perspective. Well, let me just say, if I hired the neighbor boy to mow my yard and trim my bushes, and the neighbor boy had Crohn's disease and was shitting himself in utter agony, I would be like, you know what, neighbor boy, you don't have to trim the bushes, you don't have to cut the grass. I'll do that, and if you're feeling better, let me know, and I'll pay you again. Because it's not that important to me. It would not be that important to me that I need to see somebody live stream themselves playing Overwatch. I wouldn't need them to cut the grass. If they're in pain, I would excuse them from that obligation because it's not necessary. It's not like she managed the nuclear plant and has to push a button every day to keep the plant from exploding. And she just decided, I'll stay home sick and not push the button that keeps the city from exploding. She just made some shitty videos and stuff, right?
It's shitty videos that was sponsored by people that she made obligations to.
I'm sure that she felt bad at first, but don't you think that by hammering her to fulfill this obligation, you might have sucked the fun out of her? Don't you think there's maybe a possibility that
like hell I did.
Well, you said there were multiple people and you were conspiring with them to get her to come back, right?
Well, we were talking about we didn't really conspire. I guess we talked about it in Discord DMs, but we didn't conspire. We tried to get her to. We tried to remind her of her obligations. Here's the thing. Here's another scenario for you, right? You have this boy this next door. He has this this sickening disease. He says, "Hey, I can't come come to your house and cut your grass. I'm so sickly that I just can't. I have to stay in the house all day. I can't do anything." Okay, you say, okay, yeah, I forgive you your debt, right? No problem, no big deal. That's a legitimate reason. Okay. But an hour later, you start hearing lawnmowers start going. You start seeing, hearing the weed eater, and he's outside cutting his own grass, as if nothing happened at all, right?
But it's not like she was streaming for a different audience. She was just playing the game. And again, streaming, I don't empathize at all with this idea that if she was streaming without any kind of commentary or voiceover or webcam, that you would be satisfied by that. You'd probably be just as angry to see the stream with nothing else going on.
No, see, once again, that you have to understand that it comes to a point. It comes to a point where even the little bit, even the smallest sign of something is desirable.
Okay? Well, think of it like this: the neighbor boy's sitting at home, he's shitting himself, he's really sick, and you knock on the window and you're reminding him, "Are you feeling better yet? You gotta come cut this grass eventually." That might exacerbate it. One of the things that really affects people with Crohn's disease is that stress is a huge factor over their health, because Crohn's disease is an inflammatory issue. It's a thing with your immune system. So, and one of the things that can exacerbate immunodeficiency disorders is stress. So if a bunch of people are like, "Hey, you gonna come stream? She would associate streaming with stress. And anytime she would think about streaming, she would potentially be actually in pain thinking about streaming for you. And I think a huge part of why she never wanted to come back was that people hounded her with this entitlement to having this video content that eventually drove her away. And
but you're acting as if they were just normal subscribers. You're acting. See, that's the
Kenny,
miscommunication.
She had 35 patrons. Even if they were giving her $10 each, I would not put myself through pain for $350. That's not worth it.
It's not. It might not be. It may not be financially worth it to you, but you made an obligation. Okay, I'm not saying you need to jump to the pits of hell to make the content. I'm not suggesting that you can't miss a week. I'm not suggesting you can't miss a month. I'm saying that you show some kind of sign, you put some kind of effort into doing something.
You said that she was doing her podcast once a week with the relationship thing. Isn't that good enough? Why does it have to be Overwatch?
That was good enough. I was happy with that. But she quit doing it. You know what I'm saying?
Well, were you bothering her about the Overwatch stuff before she quit?
People in Discord, I guess including me, said, when are you going to get back on schedule?
Well, don't you think that would reward?
Reminding. There's a difference between hounding and reminding.
Again, it's stress. If she's stressing out at all for any reason, that would associate what she's doing with pain. And if she's only making like a couple $100 at most for what she's doing, it's just not worth it.
But then she should take down her Patreon a long time ago. And here's another thing. And number two is, like I'm just not getting Hold on 1 second. Oh Lord, have mercy, God. Why have? Oh no.
Well, you realize Ralph is in the chat, and you realize that he said that he wouldn't corroborate you him not going after you after that video comes out, right?
What are you talking about?
Well, what are you talking about?
No, I was talking about Mr. Medica.
Oh, that's a fake tweet.
Oh, someone sent me a fake tweet.
Yeah, you can go check it right now.
Okay. All right. Someone sent me a DM. I thought that was real. Oh, okay. They got me. What is it about Ralph again?
I asked Ralph in Discord if he would if you released a video about Margaret, would he have nothing to say about it? And he said he probably would. He would have a lot to say about it.
Okay, that's fine.
Well, isn't that?
Look. I guess I need to put it this way. I'm at peace with the potential consequences, and I'm gonna do what I feel is the right thing to do. And what I think is the right thing to do is to tell the truth, and to make sure others don't fall for the same trap that I did. That's the Christian thing to do. And that's the thing that I feel I need to do.
The Christian thing is exacerbating things repeatedly until it becomes a real problem.
Negative. That's not how it's happening though. But you see, his thing, right? So the Christian thing to do, the Christian thing that I feel. See, his thing. The key word here is obligation. I feel an obligation to do something, right? I feel an obligation, and that obligation drives me to do it, right? So I can't just leave it and know that there's individuals can go through the same thing I went through. I cannot, and knowing that I could have said something to prevent it.
But if
happening.
She doesn't have her Patreon thing up anymore, there is no obligation. If people donate $50 to her on PayPal, that's $50 on PayPal. But that's not an obligation to create certain content.
I'm not really. This thing is not. I'm not talking about the present. This video is talking about the past and what really happened.
No, you said the point of making the video is so that people wouldn't try to form that kind of contract with her by trusting her to produce content, right?
Yeah. I mean, no. So they won't donate thinking that she's going to do something with the money that they donate that she says she's going to do.
Well, that's even more tenuous than expecting a PayPal donation to be a sort of contract, don't you think? Because it's just
if she goes on Twitter right now and she says, "Hey guys, I'm trying my best to buy a new camera for a streaming thing I'm going to do in Canada. I don't know, a wild live stream. I need to buy a new camera. You know, if I had the money somehow donated to me on my Patreon, I use that money to go buy a new camera." Okay, that may not be. That's not legally binding. Okay, that's not. I know that for a fact. It's not legally binding, and you'll be right. In a court case, a person will get fried trying to enforce that. However, morally speaking, ethically speaking, she has an obligation if someone donates that money to her and they do have a certain amount of how can I say they do have a right to expect that because what she said to do what she says she's going to do. If they don't, I mean, there's no reason if she says I'm going to go buy a camera. There's no reason for me to think that she's going to go out and buy a pair of slippers. You know what I'm saying? If she says it, she's going to do something. That's her word.
But don't you agree even a little bit that what I said was true? That maybe
Yes.
She wanted to oblige, but after the stress kicked in, she didn't want to anymore. She couldn't.
To a degree, I can see that happening. But I guess in a way that me being part of all this could blind me to certain realities. Maybe the third person, maybe your spectator perspective allows you to see things that I can't see, right? But also, you need to take into account, because I was part of it. I was part of discussions and conversations, and I was part of screenshots that were shared, and evidence that was provided, and witnesses that testified, in Discord, of different behaviors by Margaret that didn't add up, different things that Margaret said that turned out to be flat out lies. I was there and I've witnessed it. And not only have I witnessed it, I have the proof. And not only do I have the proof, you want to see that proof in these videos. Okay? You need to understand that I'm not doing this just for the hell of it. I've taken careful consideration into what I'm doing.
But I don't know. It just seems like it's a whole lot of wasted time over somebody who's not very important, over a sum of money that wasn't that great to begin with. Like you said, you made quite a bit of money off your line of work. Why does a small fraction of that really affect you emotionally to the point where you feel that this is warranted?
It's not really. It's the principle.
She's just some dumb bitch from fucking Twitch. I just don't get it.
It's the principle.
So you feel not only entitled to these videos and her time.
Whoa. Once again, this is not entitled to the videos because of the PC parts. I want you to understand that. It's entitlement because of the Patreon.
It's still entitlement.
Right? Okay, yeah. There's nothing wrong with entitlement.
Over this amount of money, over this length of time, it doesn't matter. It feels obsessive.
It doesn't matter if it was $1.
Well, see, if she only had one
Patreon supporter and they were donating $1, that one Patreon supporter and that $1 has a right to see that video that he helped sponsor.
I would agree with that, but I mean, the time invested versus the reward gained, it feels not only like an entitlement to seeing the video, but it feels like an entitlement to punish her for the perceived offense.
I have every right to be offended.
I didn't say
she called me a serial killer.
She
cost me 3 months of my job.
Well, she might cost you more if you keep going after her.
No, I'm not going. No. I'm not going to just sit by and let her continue with that clear, spotless name of hers and let Ralph cover her butt. Do
you not see that validates what I'm saying? I'm saying you not only feel entitled to the content, you feel entitled to punish her, and you really shouldn't feel entitled to punish her.
I didn't say. So you put that's your perspective. I didn't say feel entitled to punish her. But I feel entitled. I feel obligated.
You specifically mentioned her spotless name. You specifically mentioned her spotless name. So, and you specifically mentioned that one of your goals is to make sure that people don't support her. So it feels like
it's not punishing her; it's warning others.
It's tantamount to the same thing.
But here's the thing. See, just because it would have. How can I explain? Just because you're aiming for one and it will affect the other doesn't mean the motivation behind what you're doing is the same.
I think it is, because obviously, again, the amount of money is really insignificant. And the amount of money that she earns to this day from public support probably is less than like $200 a month just off PayPal donations or whatever. I don't think she's making bank. So that it would make it seem to me that the only point of it is to cause her emotional distress. And since we've discussed, by the way, that what her condition is and the fact that it's anti-inflammatory, that seems like it's a pretty pointed thing, right? It seems like you want to physically hurt her if this causes her stress.
Now you're putting words in my mouth.
I'm just telling you, because I'm not putting words in your mouth.
Here's the thing. Let me explain this, right? If Margaret McLennan magically teleported right here next to me in this room right now, I would say, what are you doing here, Margaret? And then I'd say, okay, let's go. And then I would take her I would drive her to Raleigh, North Carolina myself, to the closest airport so she can get home. Right? I wouldn't charge her gas money. I wouldn't yell at her. I would never, ever, ever, ever like even if I was put in a perfect situation, I that is not in my thoughts.
I didn't accuse you.
I'm just trying to explain so it can be understood that is so far out of the realm of who I am. That it's not even visible with a telescope.
But I did not at all accuse you of being violent. I'm just saying that you're trying to punish her,
but you connect it in a way to imply that it could be interpreted as a physical assault on Margaret because of stress issues.
It could be because of her condition. It could cause her pain.
Just look. I mean, she's the one that made these obligations. Knowing she had this illness. Okay.
Didn't you mention before that her Patreon was like per video and not per month?
Yes, I did.
So doesn't that mean that you wouldn't be paying for videos other than the videos you've already received?
That's right.
So what's the issue?
The issue is she took them down.
But you have archives of them.
Not all of them.
So if she gave you those videos, would you leave her alone?
Yeah. Yeah. It's actually that simple. She don't have to give them to me. I don't have to have them. All she have to do is upload them somewhere else.
And so if she gave them to you or re-uploaded them to you, you wouldn't make videos about her. You wouldn't try to contact her at all.
I'll be done.
Why? What's in those videos that was so special to you that it's worthless?
It's not about what's in the videos. It's the principle.
Okay, let me rephrase this. If she uploaded the videos or gave them to me and I gave them to you, would that suffice?
I beg your pardon?
If she uploaded the videos publicly on her own, or if she gave them instead to me or Ralph and they went to you, would that suffice?
Well, I guess if I can put them all up and so people can see them, I guess so.
Why do what's in these missing videos that is so, like, do you watch these videos on your own time?
No. That's not once again, you're missing. I think do you understand what I mean by when I say it's the principle?
I know what the principle of something means, but not in this situation.
Do you understand it?
In this context, no, I absolutely 0% understand. Because
so let's try this again. Okay, so if I sponsor something and I make something possible through sponsoring, and I'm not talking about computer, but I'm talking about Patreon. If I sponsor one video, then I should have the right to view the video that I helped make possible. To deny me that right is unethical because of the principle of the matter. It's unethical conduct because
it's just
of the principle.
A couple videos of some chick, dude.
But you're not.
No, I still get it. I'm just saying
you're focusing on the quality of the videos.
I'm not focusing on the quality of the videos, but I'm just saying it's just video footage of some chicks. Like, why does it matter? Why? How many videos do you not have?
How many videos? I don't know how many I don't have. I don't have that many. I mean, I might have at most, and this is on the high end, I probably have 1/4 of the videos that her Patreon supported.
And if she re-uploaded them, would you watch them?
Probably not. Be honest. After I get done, I mean, if she upload them and I was done with this, I don't want to hear her name again. I don't want to see her face.
Have you ever told
Right?
her that this
I
is
don't
all
want.
you
I don't want
wanted?
it. I don't want to. Yeah. Yes. Yes, I have. Yeah, I sure have. I said, Margaret, if you would upload, re-upload your videos. If you would, you know, what else did I say? I got it on my. I DM'd this. Two things I asked her to do. Oh yeah, I know. I said, Margaret, if you would re-upload those videos that people pay for, and if you would do at least an 1 hour stream a week, you won't hear from me again.
But okay, so you said
I told her I signed a contract. I signed a contract. You won't never hear from me again.
But see, you just lied to me because you're saying that she would have to continue uploading streams. How long would she have to upload streams to oblige this?
But she's doing it right now.
So she's already making her streams, and if she ever stops,
Remember when I told you
her again.
Remember when I said she was streaming once a week now?
Do you watch those?
No, I don't.
Why do you care?
Because once again, it's the principle of the thing. I bought a PC for her to do live streams. I put money.
You bought a power supply unit for her to do live streams.
Yeah, I bought a power supply because she said she would do live streams and so on, make videos. Okay, I'm giving up on the videos. I gave up on the videos. You know, I've given up on 2 live streams a week. All I'm asking for is 1 hour live stream a week. That's it. Quite literally.
You don't watch her videos. You don't watch her live streams. Why not just forget about her and go on and look at snakes? I just don't.
How old are you?
I'm 25.
Okay, so that might be one issue I'm having.
Didn't you say you were 27?
Yeah.
What 2 years of difference does that make in regards to the principle of the thing?
Because I was raised by an older generation, and that older generation's mentality made me where basically I think I think above my years when it comes to things. When it comes to sudden, not knowledge. I'm not talking about knowledge necessarily, but I'm talking about the way I see things is more old school than the other people in my generation.
Well, let me tell you how I see this. Because again, you said actually, let me ask a question first. You said that you would be happy with 1 hour of streaming a week, even though you don't watch them, and you would want her to upload the videos, even though you don't watch them. If she stops, how many weeks would she need to stream in order to oblige your contract and for the principle of the thing to be settled?
I would say at least a year's worth. Yeah, I'll say that would be good, and she can do what she wants to, as far as I'm concerned. After that, I think and I think a computer that has a value of a total of over $1,000 some dollars, is worth a year's supply of a 1 hour stream a week.
But haven't you said that all the other guys who pitched into that computer have forgotten about this by now?
They might have, but I haven't.
So let me tell you my perspective then, because now it's down to you. You said that you don't watch these streams. You said that you don't watch her videos. And overall, you probably might have spent maybe $700.
I didn't say that.
Well, you have the things you gifted her, and then you have your Patreon contributions at $5 a video. So that probably adds up to about $700 altogether, right?
If she made that many videos, then yeah, I guess it would. But she didn't make many videos.
Well, she made enough during that time to probably add up to about $200, right? But this is okay. So if it is $500 total, that's about not even 1/10 of what you make in a month, right?
Yeah.
So it's an insignificant amount of money, very insignificant. But for the principle of the thing, you feel entitled to force this woman to make 1 hour of live streaming a week, regardless of her health, and upload all these videos that she produced in the past.
Look, you're making it as if she's in bed sickly,
She has a disease that will kill her by 40, most likely. It's a very, very terminal illness that puts people through excruciating pain, and their life expectancy is bottomed out.
Look, I'm not asking her to do anything all that strenuous, and I'm sorry as I can be, but all I'm asking her to do is stream. She's always streaming.
What if she doesn't want to?
She's always streaming.
What if you agree to pick cotton for a month and then you don't because it fucking sucks and the people are hitting you with whips and you leave the plantation and they drag you back and put you on ball and chain because it sounds like you want to put her on ball and chain. It sounds like you want to put her on ball and chain and say, make these fucking streams for me, you cunt.
Well, I don't know. It doesn't.
Then let her. Let her fly free. Let her go. She's gone. She wants to do her shit with this chick. She wants to put all that streaming shit in the past.
Well, she clearly don't want to put it in the past because she's streaming right now.
She's streaming for a different audience. She doesn't want your audience because those people are crazy apparently and stalk her.
No, they don't stalk her.
I would put this. I put this as a statement of fact that what you are doing at this point qualifies stalking because you feel absolutely entitled to having her time and having every second of her caught on film or digitally recorded, just even of her voice, even of her playing a game. You feel obligated to have that in like a personal collection.
What?
What do you mean?
How are you getting what I said? How are you telling what I said?
Because nobody else has the principle of the thing. The principle of a thing is your rationalization of an irrational entitlement to her time going forward for at least a year, in your words.
Negative.
Even if you, because it's not like it's a specific kind of content that you want. You said it doesn't matter how she streams. You feel entitled to crack the whip to get her to produce
so she can do anything she wants.
But why does it matter?
You don't watch it. I already told you why it matters.
You just want the pleasure of forcing her to do something she doesn't want to do.
No. I just want her to keep her obligation.
Nobody else gives a shit except you. It's a personal thing between you and her. You feel entitled to force her to do something she doesn't want to do, and you feel entitled to harass her until she does it. How is that not stalking,
No,
Kenny?
I'm not harassing her.
You are contacting her when she does not want to be contacted by you. You're hiring people to find out where she lives.
Yeah, for a lawyer.
But you've already contacted your lawyer, and he's told you that a lawsuit wouldn't be worth it.
Yes, and I've stopped trying to look for her.
And you are completely willing. As you said, there is a non-zero chance that this will come to bite you in the ass and get you kicked out of your job.
If it does, at least the internet would have a nice laugh.
I guess, but you're going to be out of a job. And when people Google your name, they're going to find this shit. And they're going to say, I don't want this guy. He stalks women.
Hey, I'm willing to risk it.
Why? See, that's the creepy thing. A normal person would say, I evaluated the circumstances, and even if it's a 0.1% chance of this biting me in the ass, it's some bimbo I don't give a shit about. I don't watch her streams. I don't watch her videos. I'm just going to let her get away with stealing a couple $100, $1,000, and I'm going to continue to go about my business because what I do is more important. And you're explicitly stating that your life and your time is not more important than this. This is what's most important to you because of the principle of the thing. And that to me is fucking weird and creepy.
It might be weird and creepy to you, but it's logical and principle to me.
Because of a mental health thing, assuredly. It's not normal to people.
I don't see why it isn't. She made an obligation.
Because I'll tell you right now, I've been live streaming this entire conversation, and nobody has said Kenny might be in the right.
I beg your pardon?
I have been live streaming this entire conversation, and nobody has taken your side. Everybody says this is the creepy motherfucker.
What I still say it. You know, she's not. She's obligated to keep her word. Like that. Like. I don't see how you can see it the other way. It's not as if someone is telling her to do something she said she wasn't going to do. She said
Even okay,
That
let's say I agree with you 100%. She had to make those videos. She should have kept them up. She should have kept live streaming the best of her ability. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's not worth all this bullshit. And everything that you've done since has been crazy and creepy. Yeah, you're not fucking in her trash can collecting her toenails, but you're making sure she doesn't forget that you exist. And you feel crazily obsessed with making sure that she keeps her word, regardless of the fact that nobody else on this planet except you and her give a shit. And she only gives a shit because you're forcing her to give a shit. She's forcing you to do that, or you're forcing her to do this. And it's like again, you don't even watch them. Even if she fulfilled this principle, you don't watch her shit. You don't give a shit. Why does it matter?
But now you're contradicting yourself, right? So you're saying that that this can qualify as stalking, but a stalker would accumulate, not only accumulate, but also view all available content. And if I'm telling you that I don't care and I'm not viewing the content, that doesn't seem very stalkerish to me.
No, it does. It seems even worse. If you were a fan of her stream and wanted her to keep making that stuff, it does seem worse.
No, it does. It's not stalkerish. You may call it something else.
See, that's a rationalization. You've made that condition in your head. It's not stalking as long as they don't watch her. And it's wrong because you're still trying to force her hand. Even if you're not watching what she does, you're still obsessed to her.
Let's try another perspective. Let's try someone like Count Dankula. Okay, so Count Dankula could easily and simply pay the simple fine to get out of the trouble he's in, but instead of using one could argue a normal individual. By normal, I'm saying a majority individual's opinion, right? But instead of going to come to that conclusion, he decided to stand to principles. It's the principle of the thing. It's the principle.
It doesn't matter. The principle of the thing. When I want you to think in your head, every time you say the words to yourself, the principle of the matter, that is a mental conditioning that you've done to yourself to justify this. Because again, it is only you and her.
Do you think Count Dankula did the same thing?
Excuse me?
Do you think that Count Dankula is guilty of the same thing that you're accusing me of?
For what?
That's what I'm asking you.
No, I don't think Count Dankula is guilty of anything.
Do you know the Count Dankula story? Do you know what I'm talking about when I was referencing Count Dankula?
Not really, no. Because
okay, so let me explain Count Dankula's story. You know about him and the Nazi pug, right?
Yes.
Okay, and he went to trial, and the judge said basically the only thing we're going to do to you is charge you a fee.
The difference between the principle. I know what you're going to say. The principle of not paying that fine is that he's standing up for freedom of speech. You're not standing up for freedom of speech. You're not standing up for anybody's rights. You're just fucking with this bitch.
Freedom of speech is also like for principle. It's the principle that he's going to be charged.
But the principle of the matter is he doesn't want to set the precedent that this fine is okay. He doesn't want to set that precedent. The principle of it is fighting it to the highest court so that you can have silly jokes like that in England. The principle of your matter is fucking with this bitch.
No, it's not.
It's the only thing you care about. You don't care about the content. You don't care about what she actually makes. You just want to fuck with this bitch, and you've rationalized it by saying that it's the principle, and it's not. It's
if you can't understand that if someone makes an obligation, they should keep it. And
I agree with you, but I would have stopped doing this shit to her months ago. I would have said, "Fuck it, this bitch is conceited. I don't want nothing to do with her. I'm going to go about my business." You, on the other hand,
I would have stopped months ago,
but you didn't.
You know why I didn't stop months ago? Because she started tarnishing my name and
because you were stalking her.
No, I wasn't.
She didn't call out anybody else. You know why?
Because no one else challenged to the Kumite.
Because they didn't give a shit. They in the principle of the thing, yeah, they might have thought, oh, she's a bitch for copping out, but they didn't stalk her. That's why.
No, I didn't stalk her.
You're stalking her to this day.
No, I'm not.
You're paying money to have a professionally edited video so you can slam her and get her support cut off at the fucking knees for people who aren't happy with the stuff she's doing now.
How do you know they're happy with stuff she's doing now? How do you know? You didn't know. You saying you didn't know much about her.
I didn't know much about her either. I'm not saying that she's happy with it. I'm saying the people giving her money for the things that she's doing.
I'm asking you. How do you know?
Because assumingly they're just giving her money because they like what she does.
How do you know?
Because they're not going to give her money if they don't like what she does.
But they don't know if she's going to keep her word or not.
They don't have to. They're saying, I appreciate what you've done so far. I want you to go get a coffee. Here's $5. They're not saying, I appreciate what you've done so far. I'm going to give you $5. And if you ever take this video down, I'm going to come over to your house and slit your fucking throat. That's not what they're saying. They're not saying, I'm going to give you this money. And if you don't do it, I'm going to harass you until you fucking do it. They're not saying that.
That's an extreme leap. I mean, you're talking about, if you don't make this video, I'm going to come to your house. No. Even
if you're not, that's another rationalization you have. You're saying as long as they don't watch her content, it's not stalking. As long as they don't do anything physically to her, it's not stalking. As long as they don't call her.
I didn't say that.
It's what you're implying. I'm telling you that this is how your mind is conditioned, and you need to go to a doctor because you're fucking freaking out on this bitch.
No, I'm not.
You can't see it because you're autistic.
I'm making a video and I'm putting that beat, and that's the end of it. I didn't say I'm making a video.
I'm telling you right now.
Months.
Let me repeat this because I don't know if you got it. I'm live streaming this to a bunch of people. Ralph and Jim are in a hangout right now watching this stream. So your thing about the nuclear situation where Jim might make a video, the nigga's fucking watching this. Shout out to my fucking groomer Jim. He's fucking watching this right now. So
okay.
You said 30 minutes ago this wouldn't happen. So now you're having a situation where Ralph is definitely going to talk about this with Margaret. You have a situation where Jim might make a video because they're watching they're entertained by this, and they think you're fucking crazy.
If Jim wants to grace the world about a video about me, then so be it.
but you realize that's going to cost you your job if people start fucking with you like you fucked with this chick.
So, hey, if I'm wrong, I'm willing to suffer the consequences.
But you could just not. You could say the principle of this, I'm in the right, but I'm going to go watch my snakes and I'm not going to fuck with this chick anymore.
An adult
would have put this behind them a year ago.
His thing, an adult is willing to face the consequences.
Jim is 40 and he would have put this behind him a year ago.
I told you, see, I made a mistake. I trusted you. And my mistake in trusting you, is trusting that this was a private conversation. You didn't say you were streaming this live stream. And so I'm willing to accept those consequences. There's consequences for my mistake, in trusting you.
And you can't do the same because for this woman. You can't say I made a mistake in expecting her to do these live streams, especially with her health conditions. So I'm going to put it behind me.
I made a mistake.
Then why do you continue to insist that this woman give you something that she's not going to give you? Because now, especially, you have freaked her out so much, she will never do this for you. She will go out of her way to make sure you never get what you want because she's creeped out by you.
Yeah. But you don't. She was quit making them videos long before I even did anything.
Well, now she definitely will never go back to streaming because she's had such a negative experience in dealing with you that she'll never feel comfortable doing it.
And what exactly have I done to her again?
You've harassed her for a year. You said that you went through 6 Twitter accounts. You said that you were on her Patreon. You said that you left her shit on her blog. You paid somebody to try to figure out where she lives so you could sue her over this. Over fucking $700 tops.
Yeah, I was going to sue her for defamation because
because she called you out as being a creepy weirdo.
Yeah. No, she called me out for she implied me being a serial killer.
She implied that because you're a creepy weirdo, like a serial killer. Like if you ended up killing this chick,
she linked the news articles to my hometown.
And if she ended up in the body pile, I would not be surprised at this point, based on the level of obsession. What do you mean you wouldn't be surprised at this point? Do you realize that I've never so much got a traffic ticket in my life? I don't think Jeffrey Dahmer got a traffic ticket. What's your point?
No, wait a minute. You don't bring him up because you don't know that.
I'm pretty sure that
serial killer. You're pretty sure, but don't bring in a point that you can't.
BTK was a fucking like a priest. He was a Protestant preacher man. He didn't have. He might not have gotten a traffic ticket either.
He might not have. He might not have. You don't know.
You know what they all had in common though? They had creepy fucking obsessions with people, and they lost their moral compass.
And they wouldn't let it go, would they?
Exactly. They wouldn't let it go.
So I'm making this video and I'm going to let it go.
But you're not going to let it go because you've already said if people start retaliating against you, you're going to make more videos. And
if need be, if Ralph feels froggy, how you doing, Ralph? How you doing, man? So if Ralph feels froggy and he wants to challenge me and say, hey, I didn't do this. I didn't prevent you from talking about Margaret. I didn't, defend Margaret and so on and so forth. And I didn't, stand in your way and so on. And when I didn't need to, if Ralph wants to talk about this between me and him, and he allows me to show evidence to prove that he did indeed do that, I'll be more than willing to. Okay, if he wants to retaliate for that reason,
but what if he's just going to shit on you and call you a creepy stalker?
Then I won't show up.
Okay, so if you don't show up and he just goes on to call you a creepy stalker, is that where it ends?
It's over.
If Jim does the same, is that where it ends?
Yeah, if Jim, if you feel the need to make a video about me, you need some help. Hey, I do some autistic screeching just for you, man.
Could you give us a sample of that autistic screeching?
No,
please.
And here's another thing. You've also been doing unethical conduct. There's no reason in the world that I shouldn't have been informed that you're live streaming when it's supposed to be a DM private conversation.
Yeah, but people told me People told me to record it because you might say some crazy shit that might come up in a criminal case when her body's discovered nearby.
They said record it, but they said you didn't say stream it, right?
No, I didn't cut on the stream until things got weird, and I was like, okay, people need to see this live.
What do you mean? So what you're saying is you've just now started, and now that you left out the first beginning, that means some context is lost.
I'll post up the entire thing from start to finish.
And if it's not, then we'll see just how much ethical ethics you have.
What does that mean?
I mean, in a private DM, a private DM, streaming someone in a private DM. I mean, that's without saying anything, without talking, without giving a warning, without who knows. I mean, like that's low.
Yeah, and you probably wouldn't have said as much as you said about what you did to her if you didn't think it was confidential.
What do you mean what I did to her?
I've tried to make an ED article about her.
I've said this in voice chat.
Now
I've written it down.
Then what's the point? Okay, this is a private conversation, but it's all stuff that you wanted to get out there anyways.
A private conversation.
But it's all stuff that you wanted to get out there anyways.
Not this way.
Well, what have you said that you wouldn't have said in private?
No, I think it's the reverse. What I said in private that I wouldn't say in the public is what you were trying to say.
Yeah.
Right. So there's really nothing that I wouldn't say that I've said in this private conversation. What I thought would be a private conversation, I wouldn't say in public. Because as you know, like I told you, I don't cuss. I don't call names that I don't think that person's accused of. If Morgan McClendon teleported right here next to me, I say, hey, what are you doing here? And I say, I'll take her, go take her to a car and drive her to Raleigh to the airport so she can fly right back home peacefully. That's it, right? So once again, even in a private conversation, I'm PG, I'm non-threatening. And then somehow you're implying that if her body turns up, that you wouldn't be surprised. So I can't comprehend how you come to that conclusion.
Because everything you do is creepy and obsessive. And if you don't understand why it's creepy and obsessive, you should probably talk to a therapist about it. Because the whole shit about the again,
I would love. I actually, you know what? If Jim is really watching this, I actually would like to see his take on this. I don't like, Jim is the individual. He's not like Ralph, and he's not like these other individuals that would be in chat. He's the kind of guy that analyzes what someone says, and he looks at the facts and the evidence that's provided. Typically, he does. That's the typical kind of guy, and I kind of see what he says. And if he comes to the conclusion that you just did, if he comes to the conclusion that I'm out of my mind, wacky tobacco, a dangerous individual, off my rocker, heading to the happy house kind of guy, then I might have to reassess my stance on things. It's like I said,
because Jim said it, not
Jim.
Anybody else.
I trust Jim. I don't trust Ralph with this.
Okay, well I'm gonna ask Ralph to get Jim to say something in chat, and I'll show it to you. And I guarantee you, he's gonna ask you to leave this girl alone because she doesn't deserve this.
Okay, I understand. I'm gonna leave her alone. That's not. I'm not. I never said I wasn't gonna leave her alone. I said I'm gonna make this video and that'll be it. That's exactly what I said. I didn't say I was gonna continue anything.
But you said you would. If they said things that you didn't like, if you didn't agree to.
No, that's not what I said. You're not very good at interviewing someone because you can't repeat what I said.
Okay, then correct.
So try again.
You would continue after this video if they did what? If Margaret did what?
If she came back, she came back with another video slandering me again. And making up more baloney and BS, and I need to come back to clear my name again. Who knows? I might need to make another video to clear my name. That seems like a pretty reasonable thing to do to me. If someone goes out there and starts slandering you and stuff, and it seems like pretty reasonable to me that you come out not too long after they slander you to clear your name. You wouldn't wait a month. I mean, you wouldn't wait 2 years to do it, would you? And the best way I just don't see how this is such a out of this world suggestion. Or out of this world, I just don't see it. It just doesn't, like, you haven't established how you come to that conclusion. Like,
I have.
No, you haven't.
I look, everybody else who felt like you did, even in the beginning when they felt betrayed by the fact she did not keep up her promise, has left. So even the people who were in the exact same situation as you, who felt the exact same way as you, have since abandoned this quest. You are the only one.
Let me read something to you right quick.
Before you read it, let me go over this, because after they left, you made 6 different Twitter accounts to get to her. You commented on her Discord to get to her. You made posts on her site to get to her. You tried to dox her so you could sue her to get to her. You run an archive of her videos to get to her.
No.
You do all of those things.
I was invited to the Discord.
You were probably invited to her Discord because you were a Patreon.
That's right.
And then you got at her in the Discord, and she had to kick you out because you were disturbing her.
No, that's not true.
Just like when she blocked you for disturbing her.
She didn't kick me out. I left.
Didn't you say that she kicked you out?
I did. You're a sham.
You should have left everything, buddy. You should have given up at some point.
You should have left everything, buddy. You should have left everything. You're a sham. You're a sham.
Is that what you got?
Like I told you, I don't call names that doesn't apply to people. I'm not going to call you, these derogatory names.
I don't give a shit what you call me because you're a creepy weirdo. Here, I don't call people things they don't deserve either. You're a creepy weirdo and a stalker, and probably a serial killer, a budding serial killer.
Anything else?
No, that's it. I'm just going to let you know that when you make this video, it's probably going to be fucking awful. You're probably going to get dragged back into it again. You're probably going to end up with a forum thread. When people start contacting your work, letting them know that you're stalking this woman, again, the same one you've already received a suspension for stalking and getting shit for, and you end up without a job, despite the fact that your job pays a fucking monumental amount of money, you're going to have a Kiwi Farms thread on top of all this other shit.
Ask a question. So this was supposed to be a private conversation. That means I revealed information about myself that I was going to trust you with. Not only that, but I also revealed information about a third party that shouldn't have been revealed in front of the public, right? So now, I'm responsible, and we're responsible, mostly you, because you didn't tell me that this is being live streamed, right? I was trusting you with a certain amount of a certain amount of secrecy, a certain amount, keep things under your hat, and yet now we have an individual that doesn't deserve to be contacted and harassed. Now his Twitter's out there for people to do so, right? Now people know exactly where I work. So if it wasn't possible before, it made me reveal information about myself publicly, right? That I would have done so otherwise. So I mean, I don't see how you consider this more ethical than actually, even I would even say in a way it's even creepier, because it's a
very nice try what you're trying to do.
Streaming.
What's going to happen with this is I'm going to dump this on the public. Ralph is probably going to look through it. He's listening, so he's probably going to look for certain things that have been said, assemble some clips, watch it with the Killstream people, and he's going to wash his hands of that too. If it gets put into a thread, it's going to be a thread. And as long as you don't fight back against the thread, it's probably going to be a short-lived one and not that populous. It's going to have a list of all the shit they've done to fuck with this lady. It's going to have more than just your story, because that's what a thread is. But it's not. I'm going to forget about you after this. I'm not going to keep being like, oh, I'm not going to be checking on you, knocking on your door, being like, hey, you still stalking that bitch? Because it's the principle of the matter that you stop. And like, I'm not going to do that. I'm washing my hands of this matter. You, after this, a month after this, maybe even a year after this, are still going to be listening to fucking Margaret's streams or checking on her to make sure that she's streaming and shit. And you're going to be tallying her sins and putting her on the naughty list and making sure that she's doing right by you and your weird set of principles that nobody else fucking cares about. Like, you can call me whatever you want. I don't give a shit. But this shit is really unhealthy, and you should definitely seek therapy for it, because it's going to get you in trouble eventually. There's going to be a snapping moment. Other people's not supposed to care about my principles. You're supposed to care about your own principles. That's the point of having principles. And my principles are, don't fuck with people for a year straight when they're just minding their own business and they're not doing anything.
That's the point. She's not doing anything.
Oh.
That's right. She's not doing what she said she was going to do. She's not keeping
Kenny, can I just say that you're fucking retarded and you're going to destroy your life over this stupid thought? Can we have that out on the table?
You can say it.
Because, like, it's just some stupid bitch, and you're completely willing to sabotage yourself on the altar of this stupid bitch that nobody gives a shit about, who hasn't been relevant for fucking 2 years. You're, like, I don't know anything else about you except that you like snakes and you really want this bitch to keep live streaming. For no reason. It's not even that you watch them. You don't watch her streams. You said so. But you'd accept her live streaming shit you don't watch just to fulfill this fucking obligation that does not matter to anybody else except you. And that's psychosis. That is a mental health condition.
Well, one thing you're leaving out though, right? So I said people aren't trying to do anything, right? What I didn't add to that is that people are depending on me to finish.
Nobody cares. If you can find a single fucking person who supports what you're doing, I'll take back everything I said. But nobody gives a shit. And this is entirely in your head. You have made up people who give a fuck about getting the rest of our archive. They don't fucking matter. Even if it's like one or two fucking people, who gives a shit? It doesn't matter. If there are one or two people who feel
if I find one person, you take everything back. Now, if it's one or two people, you don't care. So
no, I'm just saying. Even if there is one or two people, there are people ill just like you. Even if there are one or two people, they're still fucking crazy, and you might find one or two people who are in this mutual psychosis with you, but it's not normal. It's not healthy.
How many do you need?
Well, now I'm taking that back. I'm not gonna help you, motherfucker. Creepy fucking weirdo, stalker ass motherfucker.
So it doesn't matter the number of the people that support me.
Who supports you? Can you just name a name? Who gives a shit about this besides you?
No, we're not going to dox normal people.
There are no normal people who give a shit about this still. Everybody is crazy like you.
That's the problem. Yeah, you're right. That's the issue. There's no normal people that's watching this stream. That's even worse. Yeah, you're right.
But there's like 60 people watching this stream.
Uh-huh. Nail on the head.
Oh, so this Rob Kaiser guy, is that the guy? Is he your one person? Could you find a second person besides Rob Kaiser who's stalking this chick?
Will you please stop saying his name?
Rob Kaiser is stalking Margaret.
He doesn't deserve to be harassed. The only thing that man did was give Margaret. You could hate me.
Is he still actively involved in this? Is he rooting you on?
No.
Then who is?
Someone else. Well, his thing. You can hate me. You can hate me for what things I've done and criticize me for the things I've done. But Rob, only thing he did was give a gift and hasn't done anything else. And yet you're doxing him.
And that's what should have been done,
doxing him for no reason.
That's what should have happened. You should have said, oh, well, it's stupid of me to give my money to this bitch, but I guess I'm going to move on now. I'm going to continue with my life and not give a shit.
You think that's okay?
Yes.
You think that's all right?
It's okay? I don't think it's okay to steal money, but I don't care enough. There's nothing.
Do you think it's okay to dox that man?
Yes, I do. I think it's okay to dox everybody.
Why?
Because I'm unethical.
And Jim approves of you, does he?
I wouldn't put Jim's fucking endorsement on me, but I've talked to him. He's never come on the kill stream while I'm there and been like, "Be gone, vile demon! You're a doxer." I'm pretty sure he's okay with doxing too. I can't say that 100%, but I'm pretty fucking sure.
Certain individuals that deserve it. You're right. But
What if he says that you deserve it, Kenny?
If he says I deserve it, then whatever. But his thing.
Why is this random fucking boomer your moral compass?
Because you're not intellectually strong enough
I'm intellectually strong enough to leave people who want to be left the fuck alone. At least when it comes to like one-on-one engagement.
Well, I want to be left alone. I want to be left in private, but you wouldn't. You
could have. If you had ghosted the internet like a week ago, you would have been okay.
If you would just had a private conversation, right? If you would have just had a private conversation with me, we could have had a civilized conversation.
This is civilized. I'm being very nice to you, actually.
No, you're not.
Yeah, I am. I'm telling you the truth.
No, you're not.
I am telling you the truth. That what you're doing is creepy and weird. I'm not saying that to have a bazinga moment. I'm not trying to fucking.
Oh, yes, you are. Oh, yes, you are.
No, I'm not.
You tried your best. You tried your best a few times to have a zinga
I'm trying to bore a hole in your thick fucking skull that you are a stalker.
You're trying to correlate my action with being a serial killer. Saying you wouldn't be surprised if Margaret turned up dead.
If she ended up dead in your city, who would be the most likely person to have killed her?
Yeah, but you didn't say my city. You said turn up dead.
Well, if she turned up dead at all, you would be the most likely suspect. Who the fuck would be more obsessed with her than you?
I don't know. I don't know Margaret's life.
You've been following her for a year?
Yeah, on Twitter. Yeah, sue me. I mean,
fuck, she might, dude. She might get a restraining order against you at this point.
All right. So, how do you want to end the stream? You want to shake hands mutually, or do you want to, say "I get you again, Batman" or whatever? So, how do you want to end the stream?
Well, I'm gonna go to bed in a bit. I don't know. I'm just gonna tell you from the bottom of my heart.
How do you want to end the stream? I'm about to go.
I'm gonna have my fucking Jerry Springer moment. I'm gonna bring in a moral. The moral is you should fucking delete everything. You should seriously reconsider your life. And you should not go through with fucking with this woman. Because it doesn't matter how wrong she is in having not done the streams. You will not gain sympathy. And people will fuck with you if you fuck with her. Because that's how the internet is. She's going to look like a victim no matter what. No matter what happens at this point. Because of what you have done. Because of how long this has been. You will always look in the wrong for what you're doing. And if you have any sense, if you like your fucking job, you said it's your dream job, if you really fucking care about this shit, you will turn all this off. And like, that's not even in my interest. It's funnier to me if you go forward and you fuck up everything that you've worked for.
A dream job that you've put in jeopardy, by the way.
Yeah, sucks.
But I didn't. But I haven't done anything to deserve. Really sucks.
Really sucks to be you right now. If you have any sense, you'll stop fucking up. If you want to be funny, please continue to fuck up in the current proceedings because it's really funny. And you've been funny. You've been funny enough that 50 people have been watching this for almost 3 hours now.
I thought you said you weren't going to follow me no more.
I'm going to publish this and people can do what they want. That's how my forum works.
But you saying it's going to be funny, like you're going to watch it.
Well, if you continue to fuck up and it's funny, people will show it to you.
So you are going to follow me some more.
If it's funny.
So you lied a few minutes ago.
I guess I could have clarified that I wouldn't follow you if it was funny, but if you continue to be funny, then yeah, I'll continue to follow you. Sorry to make that mistake.
Okay, so I'm not a nobody.
What?
Because you said you weren't going to follow. You're not going to follow just a nobody, right?
I said I wouldn't follow somebody who's not funny. Yeah. I said not like if you continue to do shit like this, then yeah, you will be somebody. You'll be a fucking locale, like you keep saying that you're afraid of being.
Yeah, well. I'll live with it. It's been interesting talking to you. To everyone in the stream, how you doing? And to Ralph, how you doing? And if Jim's out there, how you doing?
I've got one final question, if you may. Are you feeling suicidal right now?
No.
Okay, we'll finish. I'll let you finish. Last word.
That's it. The end of the stream.
Okay, we'll take it easy.
I'll see you later, man.
Bye.